1, go. Hi everybody, and welcome to Ask the Abyss. I'm JM from Devolver, and this is Ben from WIBY Radio.
Hey, JM.
How you doing, Ben?
I'm great, man. I'm good. Someone's saying, someone was saying they don't see faces, but that's because they're on Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see anything on Discord because you can't stream to the stage channels because then they would become a streaming platform, and that would be a lot of work.
So I'm not quite sure how we're going to run this because there are two channels, right? There's the Ask Questions channel and the chat.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm supposed to look.
I think the questions first. Like, I guess maybe have a tab open for each of them, and we'll start. We'll just hang out with chat for a while. And oh, thank you, Honey Pop. Honey Pop says we're beautiful. And then we'll start going through the questions once we've kind of gotten going. If that works for you.
Totally. Oh yeah, I was blown away by how many questions there are.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah, we'll do our best to answer as many as we can. Yeah, anything's on the table. I'm happy to talk about anything. Yeah.
No questions about how bad I am at the game, why I'm so bad at the game, etc.
That's all right.
Will
we
not
understand.
be tolerated.
Yeah, that's okay. So, I mean, I'm happy just to dive right in there.
Yeah.
Actually,
do you want to let everybody know who you are precisely?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. So I'm Ben. I'm the lead designer on Phantom Abyss. So yeah, kind of the game was my original idea many years ago, and we slowly built it since then. So yeah, I know all the ins and outs of stuff. So any questions you got, yeah, just give it to me, and I'll answer as best I can. I'm gonna try and be as open and honest as I can be about things, with our plans and where we're going with things. I know we haven't been as vocal as I would have liked to have been during all this time. It was like a pretty big job trying to manage both community and work on the game at the same time. But I really love how much this community has grown so quickly. I really want to get more involved, and so that's why moving from here, we'd like to do weekly Q&As with people. So I'm here this week as lead designer, but then moving forward, we'll have different people from the team on each week to answer more questions and things. So I'm keen to get much more involved and hear people. You know, like, I think a lot of good ideas have come from the community, and even if we don't like talk about it, we definitely read everything, and we definitely talk about everything and see what people are wanting. So yeah, I'm just keen to get much more involved and make sure the community knows that all you guys are being heard with what you want, and we're doing our best to try and make the game the best it can be.
Nice.
So yeah.
And then I'm here to eventually get good at the game.
Yes. Well, might be here a while.
It's a series.
Yeah. So James with Devolver, and he makes us look good. So.
Do you want to start doing some of the pre-seeded questions?
Yeah. I'd like to just start going through the list if that sounds good to you.
Sounds great.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've got question number 1, JM. This is directed straight at you. When is the next Legends of the Abyss?
No, nobody asked about that.
No, I'm dead serious. It's question 1.
I don't know. It's Alltech arrived this last weekend in pretty rough shape, actually. He had a shipping accident, so I'm gonna have to repair Alltech. But we are. If the first one was not so awful that you think that it's a terrible thing that we did to your sweet game, then yeah, we'll have another one maybe with the next big update.
Okay, awesome. I look forward to it.
Me too. It's gonna be so much smoother than the first one.
Yep.
I need to put the first one on YouTube. I just don't know how to describe it. So yeah, next big update.
Next big update.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Got a question here from Loti Pamara. What were your inspirations for the Guardians? That's a pretty good question. I guess the Guardians started as mechanics, where we just tried to find some cool, interesting things to keep you on your toes in the temple. And so someone chasing you was like the obvious one, and then we started thinking of more ideas with like the eventual goal behind them to be kind of affect how you play. You know, like I didn't really want them all to be just things that make you like force you to just like run the whole time. Like that was the intention with the chasing guy, but I kind of wanted the grenade one and the laser beam guy to just kind of stop you in your tracks and make you play a bit more defensively and things. Didn't quite work out how I planned, but we've got some fun ideas for new Guardians that I'm excited about, to really try and like better force you to play in a kind of different way. Well, not force you, but like encourage you to play in different ways. I guess the intention behind them is to mix things up a bit to make each run feel a bit different. And then so like once the mechanics were down, we then did the story side of things of like how they fit in the world. I'm not sure how much I should talk about the story because we intentionally make it pretty
Obtuse.
Obtuse is a good word. Yeah. And that's because we have this language in the game that the community has done a phenomenal job at decoding, and that I've been blown away by. But I guess for like the wider audience, we haven't totally like spoken out exactly what the story is, and we definitely have plans in the future to bring more to light with the story. There's a lot more planned that we have coming, and I think like out of everything that we have planned, I think like story is like the one thing I'm most quiet about for various reasons. Following question, we've got when is T4 coming out? I assume T4 means like the next area, like the fourth
Temple
area.
4?
Maybe, yeah. To which I'll say soonish. Okay, I can talk about it a bit. So the next area is called the Rift, and the art is mostly done for it already, but it's still a while away because we have a lot more content to make for it still. But it's definitely well in development. We know exactly what we're doing with it, and I'm very excited to share more about it. Actually, before we go further with this, which also might help with the questions, is we have a little image of the roadmap of what we're doing with the game.
The roadmap.
Yeah.
Put it up as just a... Shit, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die handsome.
That's all right. So where should we post the question? I mean the roadmap. I guess we can probably put the roadmap in like a more prominent place in Discord. Wow, this is all happening. Because yeah, we have a lot planned. Lots happen behind the scenes.
Can you read that, chat? Yeah.
Where are you typing?
Oh, I think you'll. I put the roadmap up on the stream.
Okay, yeah. So that's on the stream for Twitch, but then also for Discord. We should post it in Discord somewhere as well.
Yeah. Are you on that?
I am. I can post it. I can post it somewhere.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna put it in announcements for now, and then I can do a better description later. Okay. Sorry, everyone. 1 second. Wait. Is this the roadmap? No, that's another spoiler. Sorry.
It's another spoiler. We got
I had
spoilers lying around all over the place.
I had this all prepared where I gave JM the roadmap, and then I realized that Discord can't see it. So I guess they could go to Twitch, but I will also put it in the Discord for everyone. Here we go.
Nice. Oh, you didn't even see that chat.
What did they miss?
I just did a sick, really far fall, and I like timed the roll just right. It was just like that. 2 in a row. They call me Kid Rolly.
Okay, so that's posted. I'm gonna keep powering through these questions because yeah, there's a lot to get through, and I want to answer as much as we can. What I think I'll do is I'll try and answer all of the ones at the top or as many as I can, but then I'll probably skip to the end with all chat talking throughout this call. So I'll get to everyone talking now, but yeah, I'll just get through these first ones because they got in early, and I feel like they should get their questions answered.
That seems right.
Will the Twitch whip make a return? The Twitch whip still exists, but it currently isn't accessible for people. But I would say it would definitely make a return. Just in general, I want more whips to be accessible, and more special limited time ones I think are really cool. So yeah, if you should have got it but didn't, please let us know, and we can make sure you get it. Can we expect player stats in the future with information like key collected, temple levels completed, most encountered guardian, lifetime coins, etc.? We do have player stats on the backlog. If you look at the roadmap, player stats is there. Exactly what stats we're going to be sharing, I can't answer that right now, but it's definitely something that we want to get in there to be able to see everything you've done. And stats are being recorded in the background, so definitely you'll be able to see a bunch of that stuff at some point. I can't say when it will be though. What kind of player base would be considered the target demographic of the team?
You, dear consumer.
Yeah, the players.
Demographic just like you.
Sorry, I'm shooting at that again. What type of player base would be considered the target demographic of the team? Oh, so like what kind of players are people on the team? Am I reading that right?
Oh, it's people on the team? Woo!
What type of player base would be considered the target demographic of the team? So yeah, the team is really quite varied in terms of what games we play. I think that's what kind of makes us gel so well, is we kind of have different opinions and perspectives from a wide variety of places. You know, so like for me, I really enjoy kind of like RPGs or like.
Oh my sweet baby Moses on the riverbed jam. Sorry.
You're right. Just having fun.
I was doing so effing well.
So I really enjoy things like RPGs, things like Zelda or strategy games. Well, one of the other guys is super into like Super Smash Brothers and Sonic. Another guy just loves Dark Souls. We kind of just are quite varied in all sorts of areas. Any chance we could get performance meters as an option in the video settings, such as an FPS counter, ping counter, that sort of thing? And then people have commented, please, underneath it as well.
Tell them no. Yeah. Deny them.
Just for that. Yeah. I think that's reasonable. Our latest update, we had a bunch of performance improvements. There's still more to come. We're currently updating the latest version of Unreal, which will help with a bunch of things. And just always updating versions can be tricky, so we just have to time it right. But I would say with some reasonable confidence, like every update we do, performance is always going to get better. But as for things to actually show you counters and stuff, I can't promise that will be an immediate thing, just because things like UI does take time. But I can say we'll add it to the list for sure. How do you think a save and quit system would affect the game? Would it have to be altered in some way? we actually talked about this quite a lot, and we did have a save and quit feature planned for a while, because I know temples can get quite long, and and it would be nice to be able to just like save your progress and come back. The catch with that is with this game is it's kind of intended that only one person can do it, right? So if you can save and quit and come back, does that mean you just kind of like leave a temple in limbo for a while, and then all of a sudden you've got like a bunch of temples just never being played again by anyone else when someone saves and quits? So that's kind of the dilemma there that we've weighed up, and why we haven't implemented a save and quit system yet. It's still something we're talking about, and yeah, if more people want it, we'll consider it more. Basically, is our stance on that at the moment. What's considered endgame, and how often can we expect major updates on levels, such as the most recent one overturned? So what's considered endgame? So I think that depends on what kind of player you are. I can see the person answering this question has got a green tag name, which means they're a speedrunner. So endgame for them is pretty hardcore. I will say that like I'm really not happy with the current endgame of the game at the moment, right? I think people unlocked whips or everything like whips and relics much faster than I would have wanted. And I guess I'll take this question to lead into the roadmap a little bit and talk about what's coming soon. So in terms of endgame for everyone, there are the new areas coming. So there's the rift that I've spoken about, and then a fifth area past that as well, which we are not naming at the moment or sharing more information about.
You heard it first, the unnamed temple. Dun dun dun.
But there are 5 areas in total, and then we also have a true ending planned as well, where the true ending isn't just beating that last area. There'll be a bunch of things to complete to get the proper ending of the game. But then on top of that as well, we also want a lot more for the players that are really kind of smashing through things, and that comes with the challenge system that is in the coming soon section of the roadmap. And so the challenge system we have planned to kind of really help or like add content for those players that are completing everything. I can't give you the exact specifics on how it works because we don't know yet, but we have some ideas, right? One current train of thought that we have for this is I really want to be able to add more curses back onto the player. So currently you have a whip that's both cursed and blessed, and then you can go cure the curse, and now you get a blessed whip, and then you kind of do that for everything, and now you kind of like removed challenge from the game. Well, I want the players to be able to just add more curses onto you to make things much more difficult, and you can keep like stacking more and more and more to make things more difficult for like higher prestige rewards and that kind of stuff. So there's all sorts of extra layers of challenge and stuff that I want to add to the game to truly have like an insane end game that I can't complete. That's kind of my goal, because I really want stuff there for everyone. So there's still like the base game that I want everyone to be able to eventually complete. That's kind of how I view it. And then hopefully this challenge system adds a lot more variance for all sorts of different players. On that as well, while I'm talking about difficulty, if you're listening to this talk, you're probably pretty good at the game, but we're also looking at making the game easier for other players as well that do struggle to get their first relic and things. So we're kind of looking at everything, but and we're trying to please as many people as we can. And then as for how often can you expect major updates, I really don't want to talk about timelines because things can change so rapidly. But as I said, the art is already completed for the Rift, so I'll leave you with that. Actually, I will talk about the next planned updates that we have, just in broad terms, and that will give you a better idea of timeline. So I'm not going to attach dates to these updates, but here's what our current plan is, and I'd love to hear what people think about it. So we've just released the Overturned update, which had a whole bunch of different rooms in it, and that was kind of like the bulk of that. But we've also spent time on the other updates at the same time. So we're not starting fresh on like an update now. The next update has already been in the works for a while. And so the next update, if you also look at the roadmap, there's like a coming soon section. And so with that, actually, I'm just going to open that up really quickly. I just had it and lost it. There it is. So with that, the next update we have planned, we have the temple like restructure. Basically, like temples didn't quite go as I would have wanted for how temples are kind of laid out right now. So right now, there's all these different branches where people enter from many different entrances, and you all meet eventually in the Inferno as you go through all these branches. And the thinking behind that was, you know, like we only wanted one person to claim a certain relic, right? So someone claimed a relic in the ruins, they would clear the ruins and leave, and we didn't want like that to just like totally end a run. So we had all these different branching paths, and also I think thematically all these branching paths in temples is quite cool thematically. However, that's kind of resulted in not having as many phantoms per run as I would have wanted, and things are a bit empty a lot of the time. And I think the game feels better when there's a lot more phantoms around the place doing stuff. And we also have much more plans to have more interactions with phantoms and have them do more interesting things. And so for that reason, we're going to be streamlining things where it is just like one temple is just a singular path from the ruins to the caverns inferno. It's just one thing, and the plan is to change it so that only the inferno relic is what releases phantoms, and everything else does not. However, that has the problem with like claiming relics in ruins and caverns. How does that work? We're actually changing that as well to make sense. That's probably all I'll say at this stage, but I think it's going to be a much more streamlined, much more involved update, and I think it's gonna make the game feel better. I'll say that. Alongside that, we also have a bunch of new traps and enemies coming into the game that I'm very excited about. I might just leak. I might just leak an image in the chat.
On the Discord?
On the Discord.
If you want to see it, you gotta go to the Discord. I'm gonna
well, I gave you the same image, JM. If you're able.
Oh,
to
it's that one. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna leak this in chat of like some new stuff to come. All right. Okay. Back to the questions. Sorry, I kind of got sidetracked there, and I keep talking about stuff that aren't questions. Can we expect more Guardians in the future? How will Guardians' anger work in future tiers? Great question. So our current thinking is to release new Guardians alongside new areas. So a new Guardian for the Rift and a new Guardian for the 5th area. As for how will Guardians' anger work in future tiers, on the backlog we also have a section in there called Guardian upgrades. There's a lot more I'd like to do with Guardians in terms of how they get stronger over time. So currently they just scale by going faster, adding more bombs, or just attacking faster, moving faster. I'd really like to improve that system to not just be like scaling numbers, but actually give them some newer abilities as they get stronger. So for example, like instead of the laser dude just like getting faster and faster and faster, and starts getting new types of attacks where he just like puts a beam on and then moves around with the beam active the whole time. Or giving the chasing guy like a stop and dash attack. There's all sorts of like interesting ways that we can make the Guardian stronger that I'd like to explore as the game gets bigger.
I don't like any of that. I'm against it. I don't care for that at all.
You're against Guardians getting harder.
Yeah. No. No. Canceled.
Well,
that is canceled.
We can make things easier just for you, Jay.
I like that. I miss being able to do my whip as many times as I want before I fall down.
You might like the new area then.
Oh, shucks.
Is everything permanent once and done, or can only one person complete the entire game? So that's only true for collecting the last relic in an area. Basically, only collecting the final relic in an area totally seals off that temple, and then no one else can do it. Oh, but I think this person's asking, like, once the proper game is like out of early access 1.0, can only one person actually beat the full game? And that's a good question. Like, I want everyone to experience the game that we're making, but I also do want that feeling of like you truly were the first person to do something. I think there's definitely a blend answer there where we can kind of achieve both things, because I definitely want a stronger feeling of like, you know, only one person was able to do this. I think, you know, like we kind of marketed the game as that, and I do want the game to feel like that. I feel like it doesn't quite feel like that right now, and I want to get that feeling to be stronger.
What if every time you get like a final relic, it deletes the game off of someone else's hard drive?
That's all on JM. If that happens, it is his fault.
It's a good idea.
Wow, you stand by it. All right.
I stand by it. The people are gonna love it. People like a challenge. Folks like permadeath, but you know, we learned the hard way from Carrion that you can't kill people because of how someone else performs in a game.
Yeah.
So, but we can delete your files.
All right. I'll think about that one, JM.
Thanks.
Yeah, just full of good ideas.
Thank you. Thank you. I tell myself that all the time, so I'm glad someone else agrees.
Is there a roadmap? Yep, I shared the roadmap. What is Oltek's hat size? It's quite big. I don't even know. I'll have to get back to you on that. Can we really trust Oltek? Is there a fourth Guardian planned? Got that. Will new floors, tier 4 and tier 5, come with their own whips? Absolutely. So every time that we release a new area, that kind of comes with one of everything. So a new Guardian, new blessings, new relics, new whips, new traps, new art, new rooms, everything. Out of all the whips currently available, which ones did you like designing and testing? I think I really liked the tier 3 whips to design and test. Just like having new powers and stuff, I think is really fun.
What kind of things do those do? I'm never going to see them. What kind of things do those do?
You've never seen them?
No,
oh,
I'm
so you get like
not a tier 3 kind of guy. I don't know if you've noticed.
So you get like super speed or super jump, or,
nice.
super slide, stuff like that. I really like the ice whip where you would like slide really fast, but then also have slippery boots. I do want to bring that back, but because you can cure it and get rid of it. But as I said, curses are coming back in some form or another. Will there be a multiplayer mode in the future, or even a PvP death run style game mode? Game modes, I definitely want to add more of. I kind of assumed like a true multiplayer mode was going to be the most request feature or question, and I cannot give you a timeline on that whatsoever. It's not in the backlog, in our roadmap plans, purely because it is a gargantuan thing to add. Like, I really want it. I think it will do really well. We are a small team though, and we're doing the best that we can. I think we really want to focus on getting like the core experience of what we want this game to be, because I think it's still got a ways to go until it's the game I want it to be. But definitely, like, I really want to get those game modes in as well. So basically, the answer to that question is, I would say the better the game does, the more likely that will happen. Have you considered whip combat in the game between the player and an enemy in the dungeon? For example, some kind of giant scorpion. Yes, enemies being added, as I just hinted before. Exactly how that will work, you'll have to wait and see. But as a general thing, yes, we are adding enemies to the game because I think they add a lot. Speedrun as well. The ability to bring back curses on some whips. Will this be an update in the future? Yes, curses will be coming back.
Like how you keep saying that curses will be coming back, like it's a good thing. Like
it is a good thing.
It is, but I mean, just like the words, just generally, historically, people aren't into curses.
Because the game is going to be harder for everyone, especially JM.
Oh, I didn't deserve that.
Will there be anything else to do with the keys? They are beginning to pile up. Absolutely, yeah. So keys people are hoarding massive amounts of keys for sure, and we do have plans to spend your keys on more things. I'll talk about the coming soon section of the roadmap now, actually. So I mentioned that in the coming soon section of the roadmap, I'm just gonna list it one at a time. So we've got more rooms such as Rotating and more. That actually just went out the other day, so that's what that is referring to. We'll have to update this roadmap to reflect that. So new traps, as I've kind of hinted at, sharing improvements, performance improvements, bug fixes. The challenge system I've spoken about quite a lot, and then the next section is hub progression. And so hub progression is an area that we'd like to add a lot more to have more stuff to unlock and do, and keys will be tied to that area there. We haven't totally fleshed out everything yet. It's not our next update, but it's going to be in the one after, where there'll be a lot more things to buy and spend, and then hopefully you don't have this massive problem of just too many keys. What's Artek's favorite whip? Probably the Void Whip. I think the Void Whip's pretty sweet. Can we expect plushies of our favorite Guardians? And JM, can we?
What? I mean, I think it'd be fun. Who doesn't want a huggable mask defiler? That sells itself. I mean, doesn't even need a tagline. Just huggable masked defiler. Goodbye Christmas plans, because you're going to be waiting in line for one of those.
Does Otek have a favorite fandom of a streamer? I would say it's definitely JM because he dies all the time.
Brutal.
What is Otek made of? That's an interesting question.
What?
Could be anything.
Not rock?
Will there be more ancient glyphs in the future? If so, would you accept glyph designs made by the community, or maybe even host events where we get to vote on what these glyphs mean? Wow, that's cool. So to the first question, yes, there will definitely be more. I think a lot more has already been made, just hasn't been entered yet. As for like glyph designs by the community and voting on stuff, I really like that. I think that's really cool. I would leave that in the hands of our glyph guy.
Sorry.
The glyph's kind of his baby. That's Alex. It would be his call on that, but I like that a lot. I think that's a sweet idea. Will there be workshop support in the near future? Mods sound like fun. I really want mods in the game. I really want workshop support personally. I wouldn't say they're in the near future because of timelines and stuff, but I think they'll add a lot. And like of all these questions, this has gotten the most upvotes that I've seen so far. It's the programmers that I need to convince. I will use this question as ammunition against them because I think it will add tons to the game. So yeah, I want it. We did just hire a new programmer that started last week, so we've got a lot more. So that's helped tremendously in speed things up and in getting features done. I think the danger with workshop support for a game like this is just affecting temples, and so if you're affecting temples in some way, that will kind of like splinter so that you can only play temples if other people have that kind of workshop thing, which does sound kind of fun, honestly. I think that does sound cool. But that does add complexity to the server side of things, of like, making sure the server knows what's going on, of like what temples to assign to various people. So it's actually quite a complex task at hand there to make that work. But I do think of everything, it will add a lot of bang for buck. I think in general the community has better ideas than we do. So I would love to see that at some stage. Keep asking for it, keep bugging us, and the more we hear requests for it, the more likely it will happen, I would say. Are there any plans for Phantom Abyss 4? For example, more dialogue, or even the Guardians, maybe even some descriptions and a view option of each relic? Yes to all of those things. As we work on the hub upgrade stuff that I mentioned, there will be a lot more story and lore and things to view as that's done. What inspired the design for each path tier, like Caverns and Inferno? It's a good question. I can't even think of exactly how, like, the order that it happened, because I think generally we always have like the mechanics and the area done first before we start adding it. But I can't remember exactly how it happened for the areas. I think just like making some. I think eventually we kind of just said like we'd like to have something cold and something hot to make things feel very different, and that's kind of how we ended up on both the Caverns and Inferno. We're going for similar vibes or like similar feelings for the next two areas, where one is this and one is that. But that's all I'm going to say to it at that stage. I was just watching the stream, JM. That hurt. I can see the pain.
That was terrible. Man, I got through the easy part so good. I didn't even use my bone whip.
So there are still some instances of intense frame drops even after the update. I understand that these take time to solve since the player base is breathing down your neck for a solution. What I'm asking for is an explanation of the problem to be more understanding of it. Yeah, I mean, there are multiple factors involved, and it is a very high priority for us as well. I think performance being bad is just like such a terrible experience in games, right? And we don't want that for anyone. There are a lot of Phantom improvements that have been made that aren't live yet because of how complicated games can be. And so basically we had to upgrade Unreal to get some of our fixes done, but we couldn't upgrade Unreal until some other changes were done and released. So there's always things going on that like might not be obvious to the public. But we're now upgrading Unreal like as we speak, and a bunch of new things will be fixed. We're always looking at various solutions to these problems. There's also like a whole bunch of factors like traps, phantoms, and stuff that can affect things, and it can just be hard to like track down exactly like what's happening on this person's computer, right? Like if things happen to us, we fix it pretty fast. It's only when things happen to other people that we're not experiencing ourselves that makes things more difficult to track down and figure out what's happening. Not just frame jumps, but there's also like some crashes people are seeing, and if we can reproduce those crashes, that's much easier for us to fix. But when we can't, it's really hard to like figure out exactly what's doing it. So as we find things, we always fix them, and I promise you that we're doing our best. The next question is how are the server programmers feeling / doing? A bunch of hearts, which is really nice. Yeah, it's been pretty intense for them. It's been very full on, and they really need a break, I think. Well, especially Josh, the lead programmer, he's kind of been doing things just by himself. So to give you an idea of the team for a long time has been myself doing design, Josh on programming, Motze as our lead artist, and then we also have Murdoch on art, Jed on level design, and then we have Alex who does the language stuff, also some design and some programming stuff. But really, Josh has been just like the sole programmer doing like everything. So it's been very intense for him, and like I'm super proud of all the stuff that he's done. We've now hired a new programmer finally that started last week, and so things are going to get much better. I think things hopefully will improve much faster. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. What's the best bread pick you've ever seen in your life, and why is it Slacker's post pinned and off topic? What? That was a question by Fletch, one of our mods. I actually haven't seen this picture in off topic. Hang on.
It's bread?
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good picture of bread. I will say that's my favorite. Okay. I'm gonna keep powering through these questions. I know I still haven't gotten into anything someone said during this whole stream, so I'll get to that very soon. I promise.
Oh God, help me.
Why does the Eye of Agony spawn 2 inches in front of me every chance it gets? I actually did nerf Eye of Agony spawning just in this last update, so we shouldn't spawn so rapidly all the time. Because I found it quite annoying as well, so I did my best to tone it down. I hope it's better. Okay, I think at that, I'm gonna now switch to all the questions that have been happening since we've gone live.
I think it may be a good idea also, Ben, in the future to only take the pre-asked questions, because it looks like we're not gonna. I feel like we're gonna run out of time. I mean, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
I am
totally
worried that like a lot of the questions being asked live aren't gonna make it. Also, anyone watching on Twitch, there's a link with a weirdly cropped image below the stream. You can click that and come on over to the Discord where the live questions are now being answered. Get some poop poop pow. Okay.
Actually, I will ask this next. Okay, I'm just gonna go through it as best I can. If I don't answer your question, we are doing this as a weekly thing, so we can always pick it up and answer more questions, or at least the next person can. So, blessing toggles, I'd love to see a toggle for disabling blessings/curses on whips. Yep, I've addressed that. Okay, speedrunning question. A notable thing for the speedrunning community is that they would love a dedicated in-game timer overlay. Is this something you might consider implementing? I would say yes. If that's what speedrunners want, I would say yes. I think we've got an amazing community that they're doing it, and I definitely want to support them. I would love to talk to them more if that's truly what you guys want. I don't have a problem with a timer personally. I just thought, like, I don't know speedrunning that well, and I kind of get the impression, or different impression from different speedrunners for different games. You know, like some people love having their own tools, and like even when there is integrated speedrunning stuff, the speedrunners don't always use it, right? Once again, it's just a thing of timing. You know, like it just depends how difficult or easy it is. If it's really easy, it's more likely to go in. If it actually is difficult for various reasons, maybe not. But I can say that we would look into it, and talk about exactly how important it is to you guys. Another great feature would be a dedicated speedrunning mode. So this is something interesting, right? Not just for speedrunners, but for people in general. They like to play in like the same temple or play in a temple specifically with their friends. And it's something that the team has discussed about at length of how to tackle this, right? Because I guess one of our fears are if we have more like dedicated temples, you're having a smaller pool of players, or like a smaller area where people are actually putting phantoms inside of a temple for everyone to see. And it's something that we've been weighing up, and it also is quite a lot of work to make sure we have like dedicated stuff for everyone, because that powers up very quickly. It's something that we've definitely talked about, and I think it's very cool to have like temples that's only for you and your friends, or like like the speedrunning community, or whatever, just like your community of people. It's something I like, and something that we're discussing. And once again, I think it's like one of those features like that. The more it's requests, the more that we'll seriously consider it, because I can see the benefits to it for sure.
I smell a subscription service. Oh, this is my first Christie room.
Oh. Okay. This is a nice question. What are the best ways to show our support? I think everyone's doing it, honestly. I'm honestly quite blown away by how kind the whole Phantom Abyss community is. I wasn't really expecting that. I was kind of cynical, like before releasing the game, like expecting gaming communities to be quite competitive and things, but like everyone's just super kind and like helpful with each other. It's really nice. Yeah, I definitely feel the love from everyone. Everyone's always really respectful, and when asking questions and features and stuff, it's been really nice. We definitely feel really loved by everyone. And yeah, like once again, I apologize. Like I know as the devs we can be pretty quiet about things, and I don't know, maybe it's also like part of our personalities where, you know, we're not always the most engaged with social stuff, but that's not because, you know, like we don't appreciate everyone. I think it's just a habit of like, you know, trying to focus on our work more than anything. But we definitely feel it, and we definitely want everyone to feel like they're being heard, and that we're involved, and that we appreciate everyone. And that's why that's part of the reason why we're doing these weekly now, is we want to be more involved in the community and show that like we appreciate your support, and we're also trying to support you. This developer not feeding team WIBY enough to cage developers. Blink twice if you need help. Oh, you can't see me, so are you looking at me? JM's looking at me.
I am. You did blink twice, but they seemed like pretty normal, natural blinks. They weren't like emergency blinks. It's good. You made the right choice just now.
Ruins Floor 2 has 3 main rooms. Is this intentional design speedrunners need to know before riots happen? I'm not sure what that means. Hit me up afterwards. I'm not sure what that means. 3 main rooms. Oh wait. Yes, it is intentional. I know it's changed. Basically, like a bunch of the new rooms added in this last update are significantly longer than rooms have been in the past. And so I did intentionally make it 3 and not 4, because it just felt like too much of a slog when it was like that extra bit longer. So I did make it shorter for that reason. Please do a riot. Let me know if that really does make you upset. Oh wow. Is there a physical mailing location we can send some fan-created content over 3D printer and think it'd be fun to send you some things? Holy shit. Yeah, you can totally do that. Oh my god. We don't have one right now, but I can give you an address. That is awesome, dude. That sounds great. Do devs have Twitter that they don't mind sharing, so we can tweet content to them if they would like? Yeah, so there is a Phantom Abyss Twitter account, just at Phantom Abyss. If you want to tweet stuff directly to devs, you can tweet at me. I'm Ben Marinan, BenMarrinan. Yeah, I'd love you to share stuff for sure. Will there be any planned changes for RNG temple generation at any point outside of adding rooms? For instance, how many main rooms can spawn and chance of corridors to spawn? Probably yes. I'm pretty unhappy with the general RNG feel of temple generation right now. I in general want temples to feel much more unique than they currently do. We're definitely going to be always looking at improving this all the time, basically. So I kind of think that that's not the answer you're looking for as a speedrunner, but that's my honest answer. Is I just generally want temples to always feel like a new, fresh experience. I saw that you were typing just as I was saying that, so I'll check out your answer in a second. Sorry, this next question is a long one. I'm just reading it quickly. Currently, if I complete a the temple seed disappears forever, and no other player can do that exact temple. However, many other players brought on temples very similar to it, with the same room and in similar layouts. Okay, so they're asking, do you have any plans to add a temple that like truly looks very unique that can only be achieved by one player? Yeah, this is definitely a feeling that I definitely want to have be stronger in the game, and it's definitely stuff we're looking at, and kind of goes back to that previous question I was just answering about how I want temples to feel much more unique than they currently do. Have you considered adding a seeded mode that doesn't delete the temple? Speedrunners would love that. Yeah, I had that question just above.
Oh, for the love of shit.
Have you considered a mode with tailored settings, i.e. chests, no chests, phantoms, no phantoms, choosing a guardian, starting with blessings, unblessed whips, etc.? This kind of goes into the challenge mode that I was talking about just earlier, where kind of my thought process is you will be able to tailor some settings, often with curses or other more difficult things, to give you kind of like a more custom experience. Crouch, jump, and hover slider are widely regarded as the worst blessings. Wow, I disagree. Are there any plans to rework or add functionality to them? There are currently no plans to rework blessings, but it's definitely plans to add more blessings.
I like hover slide.
Yeah, I love hover slide. I think it's strong. Okay. Some speed tech and some in-game objects are tied to the game's FPS rate. Are there any plans to make it consistent? The in-game objects, I believe we've all fixed now in the last update. I think rolling logs were like tied to the game's FPS, which is now fixed. As for ledge boosting, I didn't know that was tied to the game's FPS rate. We can look into that. That's interesting.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm okay.
You're doing well, Jan.
Thank you. I gotta remember that I have wings now.
What is something that's not in the game that you guys would love to have but doesn't fit thematically? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think there's anything that we couldn't fit for thematic reasons. I think a lot of the new traps and new ideas that we're currently looking at, I started with like a really high-tech version that doesn't belong in the game, and then we just figure out how we can make it work thematically. I would say there is nothing that I wouldn't be able to fit thematically in the game. I think like because we've got this crazy area of the abyss, like we kind of intentionally made it so that you can have, you know, like floating platforms that don't exist. You know, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's a game, and I kind of believe anything's possible. Have you considered doing elite floors? I think that's a really sweet idea. I like it, or even like elite traps or something. I think it's a solid idea. I hadn't considered that honestly, and I think we will. I like it. Do you guys plan to add foes? Yep. Already said that. What's your stance on speedrun content for the game? So yeah, this is an interesting one. Like, I love that the people are speedrunning the game, and I want to support people as much as I can. As I said, doing that timer and stuff. As for it comes to like doing specific seeds, that becomes much more tricky. Like, I totally get, you know, like ideally there would just be like a single seed that people would want to speedrun. Also, part of the problem with that is like whenever we update the game, those single seeds won't work anymore as we add new traps or new rooms and stuff. Just the content is going to be like, no, this old seed doesn't work anymore. But in general, like I really like the people are speedrunning just like a brand new seed. But I get that like the way that you currently speedrun it is it's very RNG based, where you can just get awful temples in a row, and I understand that can be frustrating. So I would love to have a discussion with the speedrunners talking about, you know, exactly what they want and come to like something that works for everyone. Has the team made any changes to rooms before the overturned update? We did slightly, but there weren't many. We plan on having a lot. We plan on doing much more room changes over time. Any chance for a live multiplayer mode? Haven't. As I said, I would love to, but it's in the far distance at this stage. Grapple swings. Love this game already, but grappling the ceiling and swinging across something would be amazing. I mean, this is a feature that we wanted for a really long time, like, you know, for ages. You would just be amazed at how difficult rope physics is. It's also kind of one of those things that like sound really cool thematically. We're like, yes, I really want to swing, but due to the way that our mechanics work right now, with the way the whip currently works, it's kind of hard to justify like you know, swinging over the current grapple mechanic. Like we totally could add like a thing that you can whip to and attach your whip to it, and now you have to swing across to get to go somewhere. Like we would like to do that, but it's actually much more difficult to make rope physics stuff than you would expect. But I would love to do it. I can see someone's typing something, or one of the devs are typing something, so maybe we'll make it happen. I would like it. Any plans to add an in-game timer? Seems to be a pretty popular request. Official leaderboards could also be fun. Yeah, we do plan on doing official leaderboards at some stage. I just realized it's 10:55 or 10:55 my time. I realized I should talk about just the final things in the roadmap, because I haven't touched on everything in the roadmap quickly as we end this Q&A. I'm sorry there were like way more questions that I didn't get to answer. Thank you everyone for listening and answering all these questions, and asking all these questions. It's been really good. We will answer more over time. Yeah, I mean it's kind of the problem now is, yeah, I've been talking for almost an hour straight. This is kind of our experience with this. There's just like so much interest in so many things. So we're doing our best. We're trying the best we can. I will end talking about the roadmap. So I talked about the hub progression. I talked about the new and improved temple structure earlier. Steam friend integration. We'd like it to be much more easy to like see out of your Steam friends who's currently playing the game, playing at temples much more easily, being notified if a friend beats a temple. We'd like to get all that in, and all of that stuff is coming soon. So coming soon means this year basically. So the rough breakdown of updates that we're currently doing is the update that we're doing right now is focused on adding a bunch of new traps and enemies, doing the whole temple restructure, and a bunch of more QA and polish in terms of performance and stuff as well. That's our next update. I'm not going to give a date for it, but it's well in the works, well underway. The one after that is we're focusing on this challenge system that I mentioned, as well as upgrading the hub. So a lot more progression, basically, a lot more stuff to do, you know, and things to complete. There'll be a lot more content for you to sink your teeth into. For those players that like already can beat Inferno, this is like all new systems to like add a lot more spice to the game as you're waiting for the new area. The update planned after that one is kind of like a initial update to the Rift. So the one after that is going to have a new Guardian, new blessings, new traps, new rooms, all stuff to do with the Rift. But that won't include the Rift area itself. The Rift area itself is planned after that update. which will have just a whole bunch of stuff: new whips, new relics, a lot of new traps, a lot of new stuff to do. The Rift is going to feel very different to anything you've experienced before, and I'm really excited about it. Um, Updates aren't going to be as slow as they've been in the past. So it took a while to get that last update out, but a lot of things are being worked on at the same time as well. So I kind of expect all the coming soon section of that update plan to be this year, and I look forward to seeing what everyone thinks about it. Going into like the more to come section of the roadmap, as we're still in early access, there's things like player stats, character customization. We've always wanted to get in for a while. We can actually have a character, have different gear for your character, or like specific whips, tattoos, and stuff that you can use to maybe give you different boosts or something. There's still something that we're talking about. Different whip skins. It's kind of an idea that we've been playing around for like prestiging different tiers of like upgrading the whip multiple times. Doing the daily temple is also kind of that this idea that we've had to have a really specific thing that's like very very unique and a bit different, and like it has some like modifiers on it to like make each run very special, and then truly only have like one winner for that temple as well. Much more secrets. I really want more secrets in the game, where there's just like a whole bunch of hidden doors, or like shortcuts down into like the lower tiers of a temple without having to go through every floor. More ways of like fandoms interacting with each other, or where like you and like four other phantoms can like work together to like unlock a secret door that then people can use. Like more upgrades to like having phantoms add permanence and more interesting things to temples is something that I'd really like to explore. I think there's a lot more that we can do with phantoms now that there's phantoms everywhere. I think there's a lot of fertile ground there to make them much more interesting. Achievements are definitely planned. They're coming, just not for a while yet. There's still a lot more that we want to do with the game first. Guardian upgrades, I kind of talked on of how we'd like to upgrade Guardians in more interesting ways. Expanded story, the fifth area, and the true ending of finally having like a complete game for version 1.0. But in terms of like reaching 1.0 during this early access, like we're looking at like at least a year, I would say, for all this stuff to get done. But there's a lot planned. There's a lot that we want to do with the game still. And so thank you everyone for playing the game, for loving the game, for joining this session. We really appreciate you. If I haven't talked about something that you really want in the game, please let us know. This is a changing backlog, right? Like that's our current plan and timeline of things of where our heads at is today, but it can always change based on you guys, basically. And we take what you all have to say very seriously, and we want to make the game that you guys want. Like we're not trying to make the game that we want. We want to make the game that our players want, and that's important to us. Is that like you're the fans and you're the people that play it all the time, and that's who we want to make content for. So yeah, please always stay engaged. Let us know. We're always going to read everything, and we're always going to make decisions of what we feel that people want the most. That's kind of how we've come to our current plans. Our original plans before updating the game have changed dramatically since we launched, and they will probably change a lot again. So yeah, just keep being involved. Thank you everyone. This has been really awesome. I could talk for hours really about the game, and maybe at some stage we'll have a longer stream where we can talk about more things. I feel really bad. I only got through less than half the questions. We'll always try to answer the next questions as we go, as we do more of these streams. But yeah.
We'll probably get like the Discord. We'll get people to upvote like the questions that are most pressing to everyone. That way we can get to the kind of the more popular questions first, and then maybe we'll have a faster time being able to get to the live stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well, thanks, Ben. Thanks you.
Hey.
I think everybody wants to thank you for taking the time to do this. and answering all these questions. That was terrific.
Well, and thanks JM for setting this up as well.
All I had
JM
to
can
do is
kind
be bad at the game.
of no, well, he approached me and was like, "Hey Ben, do you want to do a like Q&A?" I was like, "Yes, I've wanted to do this for ages. I don't understand streaming or Twitch or anything. So thank you JM for setting this up.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm really glad that we've been able to do this.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, if you're watching on Steam, this is about to be the end of the broadcast, and it's going to loop because it's pre-recorded. If you're watching it live right now, this is the So, Josh, I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but just in case their parents are in the room or, someone else, why don't you tell chat who you are and what you do on the Phantom Abyss?
Right. So I am one of the three company founders. I am the lead programmer and technical director. And essentially, if it's in the game and it does a thing, I've probably had something to do with it.
Perfect. Perfect. We should sell whips. We should do a tie-in with I forgot. That's how we did this last time. I forgot to join the Discord stage channel. Thank you, Alf. I forgot to do that part. Sorry. Okay, so we have to join the Discord stage channel specifically for this. In the Phantom Abyss. If you're watching on Twitch and you're not already on the Discord, you should come to the Discord. The Phantom Abyss Discord, which I don't have a link for right now because I'm doing something else. Alright, here we go. Alright, and then I'm gonna become a speaker. Hello. And then I'm gonna mute Josh in here. And then Josh, you mute me in Discord.
All right.
So
Gotcha.
we can't hear each other in Discord. If you're not watching on Twitch, Slowdra, then how am I seeing this? Madness. Sheer madness. Let me get a link to the Phantom Abyss Discord, even though I'm pretty sure everybody here actually already has it, but I'm going to spam it later because, sorry, I'm so Not ready today, folks. It's been a day. It has been a day. I also might have to step away quite suddenly at some point. Was all that showing on the stream? I might have to step away at some point because someone from the city is going to come to check and make sure that I have properly repaired my gas leak and that I am not leaking gas. So there's that. Badoop. There's the link to the Phantom Abyss. All right, so I'm going to start playing the game. Josh, are you ready to start reading and answering questions for the good people of Earth?
Earth? Man, I thought I was answering for Martians, but okay. I guess I can do that.
Well, the Martians will see it eventually.
Yeah. What's electromagnetic time to Mars?
God, it can't be that long. I mean, like, it's 8 from the sun to the Earth. So, I mean, it's got to be like... Well, where is Mars relative to the Earth right now, I guess, too? Like, if it's on the other side of the sun, it's like 16 minutes. You know, it's variable. You know what? Fuck it. Let's not do Phantom Abyss. Let's do this instead. Let's figure out...
Calculate the time to Mars.
Calculate. Yeah. All right. Hacking. All right, I'm in. And, all right. Huh, Mars isn't real. It is a liberal conspiracy. Go fig.
All right, apparently I'm being told that I should use headphones instead of speakers.
Okay. Hey, Master Filer, speaking of gas. And I also saw the amount of deaths for the whole show. The Discord audio is bugged. Oh no, what's going on with the Discord audio? Oh, stop. Don't look at that, JM. God, I forgot how this fucking thing works.
So I'm on headphones now. And
right.
they shouldn't be getting feedback from me.
Great. All right.
Okay, so let's answer some questions, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently you're not in the Discord anymore.
Son of a bitch bastard, of course. Sorry, that's... All right, hold on. Sorry, God, it's been a fucking day. All right, that's what I had to do. I did it over here. God damn it, I'm bad at everything. Interaction required, yes. I fucking sawed through a pipe today. All right. Can everybody hear my dumbass? Sweet baby Jesus on the cross. JM, don't say things like that. All right.
They can hear you.
They can hear me. My condolences. All right, here we go. Oh, for the love of Moses. Oh, mother.
Okay.
Fucker.
Are you failing at Phantom Abyss? You are. Okay.
I am.
All right.
And we're off.
Cool. So our first question, were there any plans to add an in-game timer display and official leaderboards, a speedrun.com integration? All of these things are things that we are thinking about adding. We want to make sure that we get them right when we do them, so we'll have to make sure that we ask some speedrun people so that we don't build the wrong thing, because the last thing we'd want to do is spend all the time and effort of adding features for them to just be ignored because they don't act the right way. But yes, those are on our list of things to add. Hopefully we can get to them sooner rather than later. Is there anything we'd ask of the community to do for the game? So there are already some people in the Discord who are doing some things. Like there's one person who was reverse engineering my share codes, which was scary, and like figured out some information that they could derive from like the length of the share code, and also told me some information about how I had redundant data in the share codes. So clearly some very talented people in there. What I did was I've actually changed the format of the share code so that there is a public section that is decodable and isn't encrypted, so that people can not be trying to decrypt the things that I've intentionally encrypted. And so that's one way that the community is already helping. That's for a Discord bot. So people can tell what is in a share code when someone has shared it, like where it's for, etc. So that's pretty cool. And it's hard with a bunch of stuff because there is some stuff that I don't want to give public access to help us, because certain things are like a little bit sensitive. But I'm not sure exactly what I would ask for help. We are a small team, so we appreciate help, but also we have to have the bandwidth to be able to manage that help. So we can only say yes to so much at a time. I think that's all I want to say about that one. Who composes the game's music? So the game's music is done by Cedar Jones, who we previously worked with at another company, and he's excellent at what he does. He's worked at a couple of places himself, including Sega and Halfbrick. And how do we listen to the music out of the game? So I did just ask him that. There is currently not a soundtrack release, but now that he knows that people are interested in it, then he will he'll be considering it and how to make it work, because it is slightly different when you're trying to listen to music versus playing it in the game, because the game dynamically modifies how the music sounds depending on what's happening. So like each kind of room has its own music, and then the music has an intensity level which gets ramped up and down depending on like how much danger the game thinks you're in. And also there's the music for the Guardians, especially the Devouring Rage, that's, that ramps up according to how much danger you're in as well. So turning those kinds of pieces of music that are designed to be dynamic into something that's linear is a task, and something that takes a little bit to get right and sound natural to someone who's used to hearing it in the dynamic way. But he's a professional and he'll make that happen. I'm not sure how long that will take, but he's not working on like any new pieces, I think, right now. So he might have scope to do that. We'll let you know when that's available. Oh. Just hear you and your heavy breathing as you going through the temple.
Yep. Yep. I'm doing okay. I did 2 big stupid falls right at the beginning, and so I'm on hard mode now. 1-hit kill. I'm also stuck behind, I think, someone named Bombadil, which makes me angry. Fucking Bombadil.
All right, character customization. So you'll notice that we have the basic setup for character customization. Yes, you get dumped in with a randomly assigned character at the moment, but that proves that we have the ability to have different clothing, different skin tones, different body shapes. So that's all stuff that we knew that we wanted to put in, and we do want to put in. It's just going to take us a while to get to get all the pieces and to get enough pieces in there that we feel it's worthwhile giving it to the giving it to players and saying like, here's a new set of features, because we wouldn't want to give away something that was super bare bones, as far as like, oh, you have these two tops and two bottoms and two models.
2 tops, 2 bottoms, and 2 models sounds like a party.
Well, one kind of party. So we want to make sure that there's enough content there before we actually announce that as a feature and give that out to the players. But I love the ideas of having more things to unlock. We definitely want to keep adding content and reasons to keep playing, and to keep the game rewarding for as long as possible, in a meaningful way. We already have whip skins for the basic whip. We could add skins for other whips. We have talked about that. And theoretically, the system should be able to do that, but we haven't tried it on anything but the base whip at the moment. So we want to give you all the players chances to show off and chances to customize and display some personality. And it is on our list, and we will get that. Thoughts on how the Rift, which is Area 4, might be harder than Inferno. So one thing that you'll get is more new trap types, that some of them will be exclusive to the Rift, just as some traps are only from the caverns and on, some are only from the Inferno and onwards. You'll get a new set that'll be introduced in the Rift, including some of the ones, I'm not sure if they're in all of them. I'm not sure, maybe I shouldn't spoil that. But Ben showed off some concept art last week, and those are coming, and other things are coming as well. So the more different types of objects that you have to keep in your head to interact with, the harder that gets. We are also thinking about how to increase the difficulties of the Guardians. So some of them, it makes sense to keep ramping them up on their current trajectories. Some of them, we will have to start modifying their abilities once it gets to a certain difficulty. So I've had suggestions that the Eye of Agony should, instead of its laser stopping at a wall, it should just go forever.
Who suggested that?
People who clearly think that Guardian is too easy.
Well,
I've also had suggestions that the laser should bounce, which I thought was pretty cool. Not sure that one would necessarily make it harder, just cooler. So,
it bouncing, that would be pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how far it bounces for. Because if it bounced all the way around a room and came back, that could be very scary.
Yeah.
And the Devouring Rage, we wanted to not just make it chase you at a constant speed, but every now and again, charge up and dash at you.
No, that's a terrible idea. No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well, maybe you'll have to take the calming blessing.
I'm never going to get to a point where the Devouring Rage goes above and beyond. So I'm safe. I'm safe. So I guess it's fine. It's fine, I guess, if you want to do that.
And we've just added some features to our generation system so that we have our current layouts, but we've added the ability to add extra things to those layouts, and then those extra pieces get turned on once you reach a certain difficulty. So instead of just a spike trap, it's a spike trap with something else in between or something else on top, to just layer it up and make it more difficult. There are so many ways for us to make the game more difficult. Generally, the problem we have has been finding interesting, easy content. Because we want to put the players in enough danger that they feel, compelled to play the game. But also, early on, we don't just want to smash them into the ground and make everyone die in the first couple of rooms. So we did have that problem for a long time, actually. When we first were making the game, we made it too hard. And we actually, for a long time, the concept was, one hit, that's it. Get through the entire dungeon without getting hit.
That's brutal.
It was brutal. So eventually we changed that, and we decided that you would have multiple hits. And then we had to do some things to make sure that people took their life bar seriously. And then we added a whip, which reduces your health to 1. So, there's more than one way to make these things work. But yeah, generally the hard content is not the problem. Easy content that's harder to make because it has to be easy and interesting. Because just running through an empty room it's very easy, but it's not very interesting. And who wants plushies of the Guardians? This is not the first time I've seen that.
Sorry, I still like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a cute devouring rage?
Oh, if it plays the music louder and louder.
I mean, if there's demand for it, y'all let us know, and then it might happen.
Tell them to start making fan art.
Oh man, fan art of you and your cute Eye of Agony plushie. Yeah.
Yeah, start making like Eye of Agony fan art and a bunch of fan art and posting it to Twitter, and then get all your friends to make fan art of them, and then somebody will be like, "Wow, there's a lot of fan art. I wonder if we should make merch for it." I'm telling you, I'm figuring out how these suits work.
Yes. No, I won't make that joke. That would be inappropriate.
Good, thank you. I would be very angry if you made this broadcast in any way inappropriate, Joshua.
Yeah, fan art often gets pretty intense pretty quickly.
Oh, nice. The devouring rage. I hear you.
Yeah. So hats on the Guardian sounds very funny. Now I'm curious about how we would figure out a way to put that in. The game, as much as the game takes itself seriously, it's also pretty goofy.
You guys hang out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Have we considered adding visible player stats? Yes. So there are a bunch of statistics that we can already display. We're not tracking everything in a way that could be recorded or played back. So we are recording some things to our analytics tracking, but we're not recording the same things in a way that we could go back to the players. But we could. So we do have some statistics on how often people die to spikes versus how often people die to fall damage versus how many people die to the Guardians. We have that kind of information in our analytics. But yeah, that's not currently set up in a way that we could displayed on the stats page in the game. But we do get requests about showing player stats, including global player stats, fairly often. So I think that's going to end up in the game sooner or later. Do we have Steam achievements planned? Yes, we have. We plan to add Steam achievements. I'm not sure what the designs of those will be, but we'll do our best to make sure they're interesting. About a Discord emote for the developers to use or bug reports. Yes, that's actually been added now, and we will start using it pretty soon. Why didn't the temple architects think about counterclockwise spinning blade traps? Look, I'm not one to question the wisdom of the temple architects. And I don't think it's necessarily very wise for other people to do that because they do fill the temples with deadly traps. So,
Wait,
I mean...
Do all the things only go clockwise?
I think the rolling log-ish traps
Go both.
Go both directions.
Yeah. But everything else is only clockwise? Oh, is that based on like the calendars of South America? I know they've got a lot of wheel-like calendars. Is that part of the depth of research?
Look, all I'm saying is they must have done that for a reason, I'm sure. Where the temple's located, I mean, it looks like they're somewhere under a jungle, but I think there's probably more information coming about that. I don't want to step on the toes of my lore experts, who you'll eventually see when Alex comes on here. Do we want to implement challenge modes? So we actually do want to add a bunch of challenge things to the game. How we implement those, we haven't decided. I know Ben keeps talking about bringing curses back on rips. I actually wasn't 100% on board with players even being able to remove the curses from whips.
Oh, I do not like these. Josh, sorry. I do not like these tight spaces. I do not like them at all. I do not like these tight, maze-ly spaces, especially with the D-Rage coming at me.
You don't love a bit of D-Rage?
No, I don't want to do it. God. Fuck me. All right, fine. Fine. I won't go down the hole. You got lucky, D-Rage.
But you could just go down there and get some extra treasure. It's no problem. It's not like you're getting chased by a giant monster, right?
It's exactly like that.
Oh.
Golly.
Maybe you have to weigh up your choices.
I don't want to weigh my choices. I want all the treasure, and I want it all for free.
Yes. So, yeah, we will.
This is cool.
Be adding challenge. We'll be adding challenge things. We will. They are on our backlog. We will get to them. There is so much of this game that we still want to make. A daily challenge is another thing that we've been asked for and has been on our backlog for a while, with like a daily leaderboard or daily leaderboards to see how players go in them. That one sounds pretty cool. I know I'm enjoying the daily, I guess that's weekly actually, the weekly challenge in Streets of Rage, because Streets of Rage just put out a new mode with their DLC, and I'm enjoying that. So I understand why people are asking for it. I'm going to skip the question about the stellar bodies and leave that one for Alex.
Can you mark it for him?
I will. What timeline are we looking for legendary keys? So the game, we said it was going to be in early access for a year. So I wouldn't be expecting legendary keys until, towards the end of that. But the next kind of key is coming soon. We have the art most of the way done for the Rift area. We're working through making the traps and layouts for it. It's on our roadmap. When will the game be better optimized? Yes.
Boo!
We've been working on that along the way. We did a sweep of updating of the traps and how they function to take a load off the CPU in the last update. So it should be better for a lot of people, and we did get a bunch of feedback that for a lot of people it was better. There are still some things that we need to do in Unreal. So in Unreal, which is what the game's made in, the traps are made in Blueprint mostly, and Blueprint isn't the fastest at runtime. It makes it pretty easy to make things, which is the trade-off. But Unreal has a tool that lets you turn blueprints into C++ code, which is a lower level and can be more highly optimized. But currently, when we try to turn that on, it just crashes Unreal. So we have to figure out why our blueprints are making that part of the system unhappy. And once we figure that out, that should be another win as far as the CPU optimization goes. We are trying our best. We're always working hard to make sure that we don't build things that are intentionally bad on the CPU, or things that are that we don't check at all to see if they have an impact on the CPU. We do check, and we are trying hard. We just are a small team and have a lot of demands on our time. So yes, we're still working on it. We have some avenues to look into, and we're doing our best. Is there anything we had to cut from the game that we wish that we didn't? Probably I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll answer that one next time I'm on, after I've had a long time to think about it. Most of the things we made have made it in. So I'll have to think about it. What is the priority of bug fixes versus new features? So we go through cycles where we're making new things and then we're fixing bugs. Currently, we're in a new features phase. I'm reworking how the dungeons work so that they generally have more phantoms in them, and they give you more options for which relic you want to pick up, because we've had a bunch of feedback that when people are relic hunting, that they have to play a lot and get a lot of duplicate relics, and understand that that's not the best. So we're trying to address that at the same time as increasing the ghost population, because we're currently not seeing as many ghosts in each section of the dungeon as we would like. So we're trying to make that make that ghost population higher. So I'm currently working through a whole bunch of server changes to make that work. And during that, it addresses a couple of the more confusing and more edge casey parts of how the game works. And once I've done that, then I can get back to fixing some bugs and making sure everything's nice and stable. I hope that people are liking the network retry stuff. That took me quite a long time to make sure that works as well as it does. I know that it's not 100% perfect, but it should be a whole lot better than it always kicks you if something goes wrong with your internet connection.
Come on, chat. 3 cheers for the network retry stuff.
Cool. So, will the ice whip ever get a real debuff? So, are people saying that slidey feet is not a debuff? Is that what's going on there?
I would think slidey. Oh, speedrunners say that.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was intentionally a curse because it should be harder to play, but I guess it would be a time saver in some places. I'll pass that on to the design team and we'll see what they think.
No, this is a terrible room. This is bad. I'm not qualified for this.
But it's just some squishies. You gonna get squished?
I got squished. Mother.
Okay. How does the team react to how the community joined forces together into different roles? So that was really, really cool and exciting. We wanted to give different players and different things to do. We are aware that there are some people who prefer to just go really hard and really fast towards the end of the dungeon, and others who are more into finding every nook and cranny and getting every piece of treasure. And I pushed really hard to have the language in the game to give that kind of player something to figure out and to invest their time in. So it's all really exciting and really cool that the efforts that we made to give different people with different priorities ways that they enjoyed to interact with the game, to see that all come together. That said, it's a work in progress, and we're still, we're taking the community feedback and how people are using the game, and that's educating our decisions as we keep making it better. Also, the wiki writers, love them. We don't have time to write a wiki as well as make the game, so very much appreciate it. Will relics gain extra value? So that's related to it's related to our plans for transforming the hub as you keep going. So we want the hub to evolve as you play, and I'm not going to give out too many details about how exactly we're going to do that, but yes, your relics will have an effect on the way that the hub looks, and they might also do other things that we haven't decided on yet. Challenge temples, one really hard temple where everyone gets one shot to beat, and it's more just one that's really highlighted. Yep, that sounds pretty cool. Maybe related to the daily or weekly challenge things. Yes, we are saving the questions in case you didn't notice, because these are like, from a while ago now. Will there be a build your own temple? That sounds really cool. We hadn't considered that one yet, but yeah, if we have a bunch of rooms and we have a bunch of traps and layouts, so theoretically we could let you stitch them together in an order of your choosing. I'll put that on the list. Oh man, now we're up to new questions. That was just old questions. Oh jeez. Why do these two variations of the spike traps have two different hurt boxes? I.e. the ones that are in a line that's a gate and the ones that are a square. The ones that are a gate, when you walk up to them, they stop you. But the ones that are the square spike traps, if you walk into them, they hurt you. Yes, that's inconsistent. I will raise that in our design chat. Will it be possible to... Sorry?
Will it be you? I just yelled. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Will it be possible to have a challenge with more than one guardian? I'm pretty sure there will be that. That will go in at some point.
What? Who wants that?
Well, I mean, you have to get it to like the, what was it, Five Nights at Freddy's mode, where 20, 20, 20, 20, or whatever it is.
Well, I haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't care for jump scares my own self.
Okay, well, I'll use Hades then. Where
perfect.
you have to have every pact of punishment turned on and beat the game.
Brutal.
I think there are players who are looking for something like that.
That's... wow.
And that is absolutely on our list of things, is to give you more ways to make the game more challenging if you want to.
Did I turn
will there be any use for duplicate relics? In the update that we're making, it will be much less likely that you get a duplicate relic, and we have plans for dealing with the situation where you didn't get what you wanted. Where is the other Eye of Agony? Or is it just a pirate eye?
Oh, man.
I'm not sure that there is another Eye of Agony, but maybe I'll have to ask Alex about it.
Maybe that's the new advancement, is that the other eye opens up next to it. And you got two eyes.
Yeah, it's like Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing from the hub upgrades. We were thinking about adding stars to the sky to illustrate the ghosts, the phantoms that you freed. So every time you free a phantom, it adds a star to the sky or the ceiling. And so, you could tell how much you've been playing and how many phantoms you'd freed by just looking up in the hub. That was one thing that we were talking about. I'm not sure if that'll get in exactly as described, but that was one thing we were talking about.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
It's cute. It's sweet.
It is.
And yes, the bug where players might lose their whip progress and buy their whips back, that is on my radar. I will get to that after I'm done refactoring the temples, or I might get my new programmer on it to look at it soon. It is on our radar. And you can get them back by, I think there was some way to get them back.
Oh my God.
I'm not 100% sure, but we are aware of it, and we will be fixing it as soon as we can. Do we plan to add gadgets? So I'm not sure what a gadget is. Is there some context about what a gadget is?
Maybe it's like a doodad? Or what's it?
That,
Thingamajig.
yes. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
Wouldn't you think I'm the girl?
So consumables you can buy from gold at a shop during a run. I mean, it sounds like blessings, but I'm sure there's some other context that I'm not quite getting about why.
Maybe they're like single-use things, like that you can collect.
Yeah. Maybe like a shield that protects you for X time and that you activate on your choosing.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds cool. We like to add cool things. Is there a temple editor? I think I talked about that earlier. The phantom interaction in the roadmap. Yes, so that's some things like phantoms being able to open doors for you, or you go into a room and there are like 4 switches on the ground, and you have to hit all 4 switches to open the door to the next room, but ghosts will be able to hit those for you. So going through gets easier the more phantoms there are to help you. Or they can be jerks and just run circles around the switch and not hit it. But I mean, that's not helping them on their run either. So if players want to have fun, then they can in a bunch of ways. I also wanted to add like that kind of concept, but to open secrets, or open not just the door forward, but the door into a treasure room. So there are a bunch of ways that we'll make phantoms interacting with each other and you more interesting, and they're all on the list. Are there plans for non-asynchronous multiplayer? This has been probably the number one question that we have had since even before launch. It's been like, oh, this is really cool. Why can't I play at the same time? The short answer is that it's a lot of it's a bunch of problems to solve, to keep the players in sync, and to deal with, you know, just the usual things that come with real-time multiplayer and networking. It is on our list. I'm not sure how far down the list it is, because we do have a lot of things we want to do with the existing game. We have a very, very good sense of how much extra fun that it would be to go into a dungeon with your friend, and I'm not sure if we would do it Mario style, where you can help each other out, but you can also get in each other's way, or whether it would just be friendly fire on kind of way, or a friendly fire off kind of way. But in saying that, I would probably have to give the players the option to do both. There are a lot of questions to be answered regarding making a real-time multiplayer mode, and we would like to make sure that we do a good job when that comes in. That said, the more people who get on Phantom Abyss, the more that we'll have the ability and the scope to, you know, hire people and pay for the experience we need to make multiplayer stuff. I'm not talked about the Daily Temple. Couple of the suggestions in ideas feedback. All right, let's have a look there now, huh? Let's go and have a look right now.
Oh, god damn it, I have wings. Thank you. Thank you, chat.
Do you believe you could fly?
I believe I could touch this guy.
You think about it every night and day?
Yep. I'll grow my wings and be put into a circus. Night and day they'll come to see me.
Okay. A way to detach the grapple early. Okay, that's something that used to be in there. It used to be if you press jump while you were doing a grapple pull, it would detach and stop. With that particular control setup, we found that people would just get confused and they would be like, oh, my grapple stopped for no reason or like my grapple didn't work when they'd pressed jump or been spamming jump and grapple at the same time. So that is something that we had and I think is still a good idea, but we'll have to figure out a way that works, a control method that works without making it confusing or feel like your input is busted.
Especially a game like this where you panic and if it's one of the buttons you're normally pushing, if you're anything like me, you just start slapping buttons. Then you detach your grappling hook. And then you're in a real pickle. Yeah. You bite me, Mr. Mask. You just bite me all over. I need $8 damn before I go into this next room. I just need one damn treasure chest in this room.
Even a small chest would get you through.
Thank you, Josh. Even a small chest would get me through, and yet nothing, not a thing. This economy.
Yeah. And for the questions about the number of keys that you'll have, you have too many keys, and we've given you too many keys, and we haven't given you enough things to spend them on. And we are very aware of that. And if you want me to erase your keys, just say, and I will. But I'm suspecting that's not actually what you want. So we'll, we have plans to make the keys more valuable and give them, give you a reason to spend them. Okay, where am I? How does the influencers program work? You're gonna have to ask JM or Vico about that.
You're gonna have to ask Claire about that.
Well,
Claire, what do you mean influencers program?
I don't know. That's just the question. It says, how does the influencers program work? And what can others expect after requesting access?
Yeah. Oh, this guy already? Man, come on. I just got here, bruh. Oh, my lord. What am I even doing with myself? Come on, Jam.
Oh, that was a sweet dodge. Are there plans to fix the Waldorf trap projectiles so they don't stuck inside an obstacle mid-air? Yes, there are plans to fix that. We will. I'll make sure that's on our bug list. Is there plans to make an endless mode? I'm not. That sounds pretty cool. I'll put that on the list of things for us to look at. Player stats, yes. Again, we're looking into that. We get a bunch of requests for that, so it's on our list. Have we considered quick save points? Yes, we did consider that. There is the issue currently where, if you enter a dungeon, then you lock that dungeon so no one else can go in. The exception being share codes. but you have to have died in it for that to work. So it would still probably lock up dungeons, because we are trying to keep a minimum of people running the same dungeon at the same time, to make. We try to be lenient about letting players run with share codes, because we don't think it would feel very good to have to queue into a dungeon, especially if it's, say, some big time streamer like UJM shared your dungeon code.
Oh yeah.
And then a bunch of people got it. It would be not the best experience if you had to queue into it for 2 hours because of all the players who are trying to play your code. So we don't make you queue, but only for a share code. So essentially that's the main issue with the quick save, is that currently it would lock the dungeons. I guess we could maybe make it unlock. If you quick save and exit, it could unlock, but then someone else could come in and beat the temple while you're away, and that would be a risk you'd take. And I think that would actually be pretty likely that you'd come back and the dungeon would be completed. So I don't know. We'll have to think more about it and get some feedback about whether people think it's okay to just have dungeons locked for a long time, or whether it's okay to take the risk that if you walk away, that they are not going to get completed from under you, etc. Hinted at that so last Q&A it was hinted that the Rift would have something to let you grapple more than once in the air.
Was it?
Yes. Ben did hint that.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
That one is a mechanic that will be going in, and it will probably be used in the Rift and later. I don't think that one slips into the game in earlier areas. I think that one just goes into the Rift, and the next area after that, because the mechanics kind of pile on and build up as we go through. It's not going to be areas where you can just whip to your heart's content. It's something more specific than that.
Used to be you
and
could whip to your heart's content.
That was a bug.
I liked that bug. That was a feature.
But then people just Spider-Man everywhere. It was not.
Oh yeah, that sounds terrible. You know what game
It's
sold a lot? Spider-Man.
But does it make you feel like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I think that's the real question. Yeah. And do we like banana bread? Yes, I like banana bread.
Yum.
I don't eat a lot of it, but that's because I don't make very much of it. Yes, banana bread is quite good. It's technically a cake, isn't it? Yeah. How do we think people's average success or failure rate for clearing temples compare to our expectations? So I think we're expecting people to be good at the game, but a bunch of you are quite good at the game. And the range of skill levels is quite broad. So there are some people who will struggle to get through their first dungeon, and so we need to make it accessible to them so that they can see, how the game opens up after that. But also, clearly there are some of you who can reliably get to the end of Inferno. I mean, we can do that because we're the developers, but I guess we should always expect that there will be people who are better at our game than we are, because it's not like we get to play it all day. We actually have to, build it as well as play it. So I'm not sure really how it compares to our expectations. But I guess there's a general sense that you're beating more temples more quickly than we expected. So congratulations. Now we have to make some changes to make sure that there are more ghosts in the world more of the time. Is it intentional to be hit by a guardian or trapped in the period that you're being teleported after getting crushed or falling into a pit? No, that is an oversight on our part, and we will look into fixing that. I have to look at this bread, apparently.
Oh, wait, that's an old question.
Is that an old one? Oh, it says there's new bread.
Oh, all right. Yeah, all right. Then there's a new bread question. Also, thanks, chat, for letting me know about the secret treasure. Now I'm not very far from the devouring rage when he spawned in. So, everybody wins!
Yeah. New bread. Looks bumpy. It's good.
Got that bumpy bread.
Okay. That back to here. All right. As a small team, we all wear many hats. Yes, I have many hats. Given the time, ability to learn a new position, what's a hat that I don't currently wear that I'd like to try out? So I think it might be cool to learn some more technical art.
No.
What? I'm not that bad at art. I'm pretty bad at art. So I'm actually colorblind. So that makes the art thing slightly more difficult, but it means that I usually approach it from a more technical perspective. When I go to pick a color for something, I don't just use the color picker and look at the color and pick the one I want. I construct the color that I want out of numbers, because that is the way that I can reliably know that I've got the right color. So yes, technical art would be one thing that I would like to get more into, because with the blueprint material system, it's been pretty interesting to play with that, and I've learned a bunch about it, and I'm interested to know more. We've talked about performance improvements. There are more on the way, including CPU and GPU performance. Are we going to make the chances for the lucky blessing to kick in more transparent? Maybe. Some of those things are more fun when you don't know, but also it plays into I completely understand the urge to ask the question, completely understand the urge to want to know, and completely understand that some players will never pick that one because they don't know the answer. So yeah, sometimes a thing that's harder to make a calculation about is more interesting from a design perspective. But we have heard many calls asking for that to be more transparent, and we are thinking about it. Now that we have rotating rooms, do we have vertical rotating rooms? We actually did used to have some of those in the prototype. I'm not sure if they didn't make it in this time, then they might make it in next time. Will the game support mods? Okay, this is a big question. I have a lot of there are a lot of games that I like with tab mods, which make the game better. Like I'm sure that like a bunch of RPGs like Skyrim wouldn't be even half as popular, a quarter as popular, a tenth as popular as they are without all of the mods and the dedicated fans giving support to the game. I would like to be able to support them in some way. Currently, we have, so many things on our plate that is not at the top of our list. And I am worried about it splintering the player base by if a mod adds a trap to the game that then only players who have that mod can get that dungeon, and it adds a bunch of extra layers of complexity to dungeon selection and serving. So eventually, especially if the game gets big and I can hire people to put it on. Oh, will the Rift have gravity changing platforms? That sounds pretty cool. I don't know that is one of the current things that is in the works, but that might get added, considering how cool that sounds. Is Phantom Abyss coming to consoles? I would very much like it to come to consoles. That has been in the back of my head from the start. I would like the game to be able to be played by as many people as possible, including console players. But I don't have any timelines or anything to announce on anything like that. I would like to, but there's nothing announced yet. And what gave us inspiration to make the runic language? So secretly, not too secretly, I'm a big fan of the Game Theory channel on YouTube, and I kind of want Phantom Abyss to get an episode of Game Theory. And that was part of why I pushed to have the language put into the game.
Is this a channel where people like decode stuff from games?
Yeah.
Nice.
And also, like, there's a whole set of lore, whole story in that language that we just don't tell to players any other way. So, the inspiration was that I wanted to give players something that wasn't directly related to the second-to-second gameplay to sink their teeth into, and to talk about, and to come together and collaborate and figure out amongst themselves. And also a way to tell a story that didn't require a whole story being told to you in a really direct way, and also didn't require us translating a whole bunch of text into a whole lot of languages. So we kind of got away with that because we only have to translate it into one language that we created. So if we get it wrong, that's our own fault. It's not like it could be mistranslated by translators, and we could have silly things in the game that way. That's most of the inspiration, is just to give people something to work together, something to collaborate on, something to figure out as a team, something to build a little bit of community around, and also to see whether people would understand the story that we were telling. And there's a bunch more story that is coming that you haven't seen yet. which is in that it's deeper in the dungeon and in new dungeons that you all haven't seen yet. Again, Alex is very excited about that stuff. And yeah, I mean, there are more characters. There's more going on than we've revealed as yet. Is there a maximum time that you can stay in a temple? So currently there is no maximum time, but I have compressed all of the data so that if you're in a temple and you're not moving, it's essentially free. If you just stand around in a temple for 10 hours, it's the same as, if you hadn't stood around for 10 hours. It's pretty okay that way. Of course, if we start getting some kind of problems where, like, I don't know, someone's intentionally trying to make things bad for us, then we might have to start imposing some restrictions, but currently no maximum amount of time. Last time we planned to change the generation algorithm regularly to keep it fresh. With this in mind, we could do it in a way that could be announced for the speedrunners and planned for a speedrun season. Okay, so I think that's partly to do with when we add new rooms and when we add new traps, that affects the way that the generation works, in that the same seed will result in two different outcomes if we add rooms or if we add trap layouts. When we increase our version numbers, we do force a version upgrade. So essentially, if we force a version upgrade, you can assume that the temple generation has changed. And have I ever dreamt of playing or developing the game? What?
Like literally?
A game, maybe?
This game? Like, do you dream about it?
Oh, I think actually that is what it is. Is have I dreamt about it? Yes, of course. This project has tendrils into nearly every part of my life, including my dreams. Sometimes, if I've had a particularly difficult problem to fix, I will go to sleep and dream about, being chased by one of the guardians, or having to deal with traps in my everyday life.
Is it ever like the Masked Defiler, but with Ben's face or something like that? Or, it's it's like the Eye of Agony, but it's your grandmother's eye, and you're like, no, I failed you.
I haven't had either of those specific ones, but sometimes I will take a problem home with me, as in leave the office, and then it'll just be stewing away in the back of my head when I'm not actively thinking about it, and then something will click and it'll come back to the front and go, here's the result, this is how you fix that problem.
Our brain's great.
Yeah, and then I get a little tasty hit of dopamine, and then come back to the office and fix it the next day. So yeah, brains are certainly a strange place.
Look at that mass defiler. They all
yes.
went in the pit. You dumb son of a gun.
Would you prefer that I make the defiler try not to throw them in the pit?
Jay Benny, she gone. Oh man, what up, buddy? No, it's fine. He normally just pops. I've run into the mass defiler more than I've been poisoned by the mass defiler. Oh, for the love of shucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got poisoned there.
I did.
Uh,
I did get poisoned there, Josh. I did.
in the relic room of the ruins, right past the big foot door, there are 2 doorways or pathway textures in the wall. They're going to be used for pathway shortcuts in the future. Oh, that's a very good question.
I'd like to answer that
we have-
question by saying, "Oh wait, are you really going to answer it? I thought you were doing a smile, like you were going to be like, I'm not going to answer."
We have thought about ways to give players shortcuts. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, one shortcut to happiness is ransom Old Tom Gin. Ransom Old Tom Gin. Fine gin aged in a whiskey barrel, the ransom way. Ransom Old Tom Gin. Yum. Ransom.
Nice. If there were workshop support, I would there be support for a proximity voice chat mod? Hear the phantoms panicking and the angry no-clip head? Yeah, that sounds cool. Again, I would love to support mods. It's just, yeah, I need the scope to be able to put them in and rework a bunch of the game to support them. What languages does Alex speak? Well, he speaks the language of this game. That's what he speaks most of the time. It's sometimes hard to, when we're just like, hey Alex, I just want you to make this thing, and then he replies with a bunch of symbols, and then just like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's cool, guy. I hope you're doing what I wanted you to do. I'm paying him anyway, so.
Did Alex like unlock like dark wicked secrets in order to like tune into like this game, and so like he's learned knowledge man was not meant to know?
He did just move a long way out of the city and all the way up a mountain. I'm not sure if his current place is currently like defined as a lair, but you know.
Good. That's good. You ever see the movie Bubba Hotep?
No, I haven't.
It's about Elvis Presley, and he's in a retirement home because he didn't actually die. The guy that died was a fake Elvis. And anyway, this mummy shows up and starts like messing with him and this other old guy. Elvis is played by oh my god, I can't remember his name, from Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. And anyway, yeah, the mummy, when the mummy speaks, it like the Egyptian hieroglyphs will like fall out of its mouth and like hover in the air. And so if anyone wants to know what it's like to talk to Alex, or what it's going to be like when we have him on the show, apparently, go watch Bubba Hotep and that's how it works. Is that what you're saying? Like the symbols fall out of his mouth?
Like, most of the time he's not on video chat, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Fair enough.
Yeah. If the elemental whips already give you superpowers, what could possibly top them? Look, there are always more ways that we can make broken things that are too good. So don't worry about that. Thoughts on a Thwomp Guardian? A Thwomp Guardian.
Thwomp.
Who just like gets above you and then.
Oh.
I like it.
I
like it. Keep your eye on the next. Keep your eye on the rift because there's something related in there.
Ooh.
Do you have plans to support the Twitch community for Phantom Abyss? I would love to add Twitch things, and now that I have another program to help me, that could be one of the things that I'll put him on. Don't know if it's... I know it's not the design of the game. There's potential for private servers for friends to do multiplayer. Yes, so again, this runs into the issues of I don't know that we necessarily have the player population to support fracturing it too much. But you know, once the game is of a certain size, then a bunch of these things start to make more sense. I just need the game to be successful, and then you can have all the things you want, right? Because if I had Epic money, then I could just make all the game.
Oh, I see. Our Devolver money ain't good enough for you.
Look, Devolver money is very appreciated, but it's not Epic money.
That's fair. It's not.
Are there plans to add a jump straight into a temple and set the default whip instead of loading into the hub first? There isn't currently, but if there's a lot of demand for that, then we'll consider it. Is there a different difficulty for every brazier path? I mean, they're all generated separately, but they have the same difficulty settings. So some will be harder than others, but that's a factor of the normal variation in difficulty of rooms.
Quad Ostrich asked why I didn't get the heal. It's because I got double jump. Because I feel like that increases my chances of survival. If I remember that I have it. And
I find double jump is always better than a heal.
Yeah. It's way more likely to keep me from taking damage.
Yeah.
Then again, my competence today has been sub.
How long were we meant to go for, by the way?
Just an hour, so I think you cleared it. But you know, we can go as long as you're comfortable going and answering questions. But as soon as you're ready to kind of wind down, we'll wind down and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, I think I'm through the questions that I really wanted to answer.
Great, perfect. Oh god damn.
And I'll just answer this one about the chests. Is there a guaranteed number of chests to spawn each floor, or is it random? It will be different for every example. I was considering putting a floor under it so that there would be a minimum of X many, but we haven't implemented that yet.
Nice.
So yes, we don't want to make it unfair, but also it is good that sometimes a run has lots of treasure and sometimes it doesn't have very much.
Yeah, that's good. Real good. I hate these tiny spaces. Oh no. No. God damn it. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want or need.
Well, now you have a ghost trail to follow, right? So you'll be okay.
The ghost friend, I knew that this was going to be a maze part because I saw the ghost coming out of it as I was coming into it. I was like, oh, good. Trap for idiots.
I mean, did it get you or not?
Yes, it did. So it works. Your idiot trap works, Josh. Confirmed.
Sweet. I'm sure Jed will be very happy with that outcome because he was the one who designed that room.
I dislike that room. It's very dislikable. They're great. They're just terrible.
Terrifying.
It's just I get lost. As someone in chat pointed out, I stare at the floor, which is apparently uncool, which I learned in high school. Oh my god, D-Rage. Get off my D.
You gotta get your confidence up, you know? Shoulders up, looking forward.
Yeah, alright.
Feel that Feel that string pulling up through your crown.
Oh, this
Keep the spine nice and aligned.
fucking.
Sorry, my
ride.
Tai Chi instructor is kicking in.
No, oh, you're a Tai Chi instructor?
Yeah.
That's cool. How does that tie into this game? Are there elements of Tai Chi? You know, I mean, your experience.
You know, I'm not sure exactly what would be directly related, but elements of, I suppose, concentration and control.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
long whip.
A little bit of yin and yang, I suppose. Okay, I think I'm through at least all the questions that were pre-done.
Well, all right then. I'll keep
Yeah.
playing the game for a little while longer, but thanks so much, Josh, for coming. Do you know who we've got next week?
I think it has to be Motze.
Oh,
Motze,
yeah.
the lead artist. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Art.
Yeah,
art,
so
art,
I've
art.
totally put him in for that now. So take that, Motze, in case that wasn't your plan. You're now doing it. Or if it changes, you know it changes. But I was going to let him do this week, but he was busy right now, so it's me instead. So I hope I was entertaining enough.
Yeah. Entertaining and informative. Infotainment.
Yay! That's the best kind.
Well, sweet. Thanks, Josh, for coming. I'm going to pop into the... Well, I mean, if you're watching on Steam, this might loop now, or it... Yeah, it's probably going to loop now. Or it might go to episode 3, but we haven't recorded episode 3 yet. So it's either going to go to episode 1 or episode 3. Who knows? It's not exciting, but you'll find out as soon as we come back from this commercial.
Cool. So,
And we're back. Greetings, glorious humans, gentle ladies, lad men, ladies and gentlemen, dreamers and dreams alike, and welcome to Ask the Abyss here at twitch.tv/DevolverDigital. Hi, I'm your host, JM, and this is Motze from WIBY.
Hello.
Hi, Motze. How's it going?
Not bad. How you going?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. And I think I've actually got this all set up on the first try. We'll find out. We'll find out. Chat will let us know if I've done it wrong. Hi, Eunuch. Hello, everybody. Let me see. All right, and then we're in the Discord, and chat is not telling me that I'm doing... Oh, hi, sultry voices in my head, says Soldier Soul. We did it. We did it right. All right, so this is Ask the Abyss. Motze here. Motze, who are you, and what do you do on the Phantom Abyss?
Hey, I'm the lead artist on Phantom of the Abyss. Phantom Abyss.
Oh, look at all this art all around us. Great. Well, thanks for coming on to answer folks' questions. Motze here is going to answer your questions about Phantom Abyss, and I will be giving a demonstration on how not to play Phantom Abyss.
You should be pretty good by now.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so.
I say that, and I'm terrible at the game.
Really? But
Yeah.
how do you paint? How do you paint the stuff all the way up there on the ceiling if you're bad at the game?
Get a ladder.
Ah,
A
see,
sheet.
I gotta unlock the ladder. Oh, sorry about Nightbot chat.
All right.
Oh.
So just get into answering some of these questions.
Hit it.
All right. Where to start? How you guys consider adding a beta server where we, the community, help with the bugs and changes coming to the main server? We do have a beta server.
Mm-hmm. It's invite only.
Yeah.
So that answer will make that person both happy and sad.
Yeah. So how did a cardboard box get into an ancient Aztec temple? Anyway, good question. There's a lot of odd kind of mysterious things going on in the temple as to how things get in there, and how these temples know about certain things that they probably shouldn't know about. So it's all part of the mystery of the temple.
Oh man. Sorry.
What's your favorite whip to see other people use or try to bless? My particular favorite whip is actually the lightning whip. I just love the way it looks and the way it it sparks. It looks amazing to me, and I love seeing people try to bless it because it seems like such a great whip. Like makes you go faster. So yeah. That's my favorite to watch everyone use, I think. It was a good try.
It was a terrible try, but thank you. That was very kind of you. I gotta warm up. I've gotta warm up. Before you can see den Geist. Ja, ich weiß, a doom guy. People yelling at me in German.
When can we expect a water temple? Ooh, water temple. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think water temple, not really one we've been considering making. We've got plans for other ones that'll be quite a surprise, I hope, when they're actually in the game. Yeah. Will you play around with the fire traps or any traps with particle effects, lightning, water, and sand? We've had some ideas about that. We're just kind of like sorting out what's the best way to approach it and what works the best. See what we'll come up with. Nothing really solid yet, though.
Is that for new traps, like new trap types?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a load of ideas, just seeing what ones we really feel like will work best for the game.
Oh. It's like I got worse since last time.
gotta, yeah, you gotta find your groove.
Yeah, gotta warm up. Warm up. I can do this.
Something the new update specialized in was adding tighter, more enclosed spaces. Are there plans to explore this type of exploration more in the future? Definitely.
Boo! Sorry.
I'm a big fan of just that variation, because like so much of the game is wide open spaces. Every chance that it gets really narrow just changes the way you play drastically, and it can actually, yeah, I'm a big fan of it really making you on edge. Like this run right here, what you're playing right now. I really enjoy that map.
Well, I'm glad you did. It's good.
Really, yeah, gets you nervous.
I hate the narrow parts. I hate all the parts where it gets narrow, especially if I'm getting chased by old grumpy hungries.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but they are really exciting. I have to admit.
Can we have a button that lets you make an immediate 180-degree turn? On the Xbox controller, the Y button has no action assigned to right now. That's an interesting idea. It's not something we actually have thought about implementing. Yeah. That's actually a pretty cool idea. I think
I'd be into
for
that.
controller, it's actually a good point, because I use a controller, and I think it probably contributes to why I die so much, because like there's only so fast you can turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe for the controller, because the mouse, of course, like yeah, you can just turn instantly. But probably, yeah. I think I would like that a lot, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna let the coders and designer know.
Make Josh do it.
Yeah, I'll make him do it. Nah, he's got so much going on right now. It's like sorting things out.
Yeah, sorting how to get the 180-degree turnout. Get Motze's work done.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be very happy with it, because I am a controller user. In light of games like this, where movement is key, Dying Light, Mirror Edge, am I surprised there isn't one? Someone else replied to that. Yeah.
Telling people they gotta join the Discord.
Is it?
And I gotta get the link for the Discord. I knew I was gonna forget something.
You know what? It could be. This question: is it possible to get a temple without a single one of the new rooms in it? It could be. I've never actually paid attention that close. I like seeing the new rooms, so I'm happy that they're actually popping up more regularly. Will you add traps that do not hurt directly, like slowing traps? Would love to add traps that are more, less killy. Don't kill you as much. Yeah, that's definitely something we want to work on. It feels better if you have. I personally would love it. Just a chance to be like, you get knocked by something, it doesn't actually hurt you, just disorientates you and makes you more aware of your surroundings, kind of prepares you for what's to come. Yeah, definitely would love stuff like that. Hopefully some of the traps that we add, there is one trap that we're adding that I know will actually do something similar to that. Not sure in terms of mud or quicksand. That's something that we are trying to develop, seeing what we can come up with there. But yeah, the jump pad is more of like an assist than a hindrance, but it is still classed as a trap, I guess. When can we spend our keys on new things? Would love to get some new things to spend your keys on. Like, currently it is just like going to new levels and buying whips. Would definitely love for new opportunities to get that stuff to spend it on. We are planning on introducing some things, but we'll see how all that stuff goes. Ooh, that's a little bit unfair.
I have gotten worse, and I don't know how, because I wasn't very good to begin with. I can do this.
has the Devouring Rage ever legitimately scared anyone on the team? I think I was more thrilled when I saw it. I was like, I had this when we first came up with the idea, I had this vision of it kind of like moving through the floor, and it using its eyes first. And when I saw that in game, I was like, yes. I was more thrilled than scared. But there have been times where it's just like, like you think, where the hell is it coming from? And you look below, and there it is, coming right out of the ground. Yeah, that's been pretty fun. Have you at WIBY been clicking cookies? I'm not really sure what that's referring to.
No idea. Have you been clicking cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you cleared your browser settings recently?
Not even sure.
Hey,
Most of the
somebody
fire
worse
with
than me. Sorry.
It doesn't actually tell you that you get immediately into lava. I spent 3 minutes or so trying to figure out how to drop my coins in lava until I researched it up.
So is this someone complaining that they didn't know that lava wasn't water?
It's someone saying that they had immunity. Oh, so they had the ability to heal. It looks like.
By dropping coins in water?
The fire whip means they are safe in lava.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Probably a little better description for that lava immunity would be helpful. It does take a while to get to the Inferno to be like, oh, lava doesn't hurt me. When you got the fire whip, you can easily forget it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Inferno. Once. I was there once, very, very briefly.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Not been very good at the game either. I'm like, oh, when I get to Inferno, I'm quite happy.
Oh, sweet baby Moses.
Have you guys considered adding prestige system for relics, such as getting duplicate relics, add some new effects to your existing relics? Not exactly a prestige relic thing, but we are definitely developing some new ideas for relics. Yeah, want to make it feel a little more special when you get particular relics. Looking forward to getting all that stuff in. It's actually currently in progress, but not really a prestige system. It is something that we have talked about. Yeah, we can probably, now that you guys have brought it up, we'll probably discuss it again, see what we can actually come up with. There may be something there.
Ooh, sideways.
That is interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that actually can occur, but I've never seen it before either. Just happens to be the rooms that you've opened up.
Yeah.
The doorways that have opened up for it.
Neat.
Like a tally. That someone asked a question to go along with that prestige one. How many times you've collected that relic? Like a counter for that. That would be pretty cool. A good way to know if you've ever gotten that relic before. If you get duplicates, like how many times you collect this one. Yeah.
That way it still at least adds to your kind of score in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually something there. That's interesting. But yeah, we'll see if we can work it in some way. Are there any plans for any boss fights? I do have a plan for a boss fight.
Oh.
I won't say anything else, but I would love to get this boss fight in the game.
God damn it.
It's like, definitely, it involves all the Guardians. That's about all I'll say.
Oh, I've got the laser eye. I got excited about boss fight and I fell. Oh god.
And,
and I got shot.
Ooh, that
I
was a
got
quick.
That was quick. I got This is the worst I've done yet.
What of the things you personally had a big hand in putting into the game are you most proud of? Well, actually, that's pretty tough. Most proud of. I think I'm just most proud of like probably the Guardians actually. I thought the Guardians were a huge boost to the game. Like I feel like it gives the whole environment a personality when something like that doesn't like you, doesn't want you there. So yeah, I feel like I'm most proud of those Guardians. Like I think they're great.
They're pretty cool and scary.
But I gotta say, I like it. I'm proud of almost everything actually. Like all the stuff you see, it's just like we've all been working very hard and getting to put this all together.
I'm demoing. I'm oohing and awing over the treasure chest. Like, look at all the things.
Why do some whip names make a lot of sense, but others seem to have their names swapped? Example, Feather Whip should reduce all damage and Deluxe Whip should award double coins. Yeah. The names are more associated with the whip's appearance than they are the actual blessings, buffs and debuffs on those whips. So the Feather Whip actually has like a decoration of a green feather at the top of it. So that's the reason why it's called the Feather Whip. We like to the debuffs and buffs were attached later to what we felt best suited the whips that we had that we actually made. Yeah, it wasn't really associated with the whips, debuffs, and buffs are not associated with the name particularly. Some of them match better than others, but yeah, it's mostly to do with the appearance of the whip.
I'm surprised that whip, like, bonuses and, like, guardians were not just always present.
Yeah. Well, whips were in the very early stages, definitely. Like we quickly found that whips were a great thing to have in the game. And guardians too, actually, when we first introduced them. Yeah, very early stages. They proved themselves very well. To add to that, how often does the team look through ideas feedback? What ideas do you like the most? And finally, is there any change, addition that the team has agreed that they want in the game? Definitely look through a lot of those ideas. Some of them were actually along the right track of what we actually already have planned in the game. So it's pretty exciting to see people really, get the game with their ideas. And it's some of the ideas I've seen in there are pretty interesting. I'm not going to specify exactly which ones we're most interested in getting in there, because want it to all to be a fairly big surprise. But yeah, some people are definitely coming up with some great suggestions. We love seeing all those ideas. They really help inform anything we want to actually get in and make the game feel great. Explosion traps. Interesting question.
A lot of masochists.
Oh man. Anyone that joins a bit of struggle in the game, I'm all down for that. Yeah, we definitely, when it comes to explosion traps, there are some ideas coming. Like definitely the next update, we're planning on getting a whole lot of traps introduced, and some of them may suit a specific requirement. sliding has a slower speed depending on how far up or down your crosshair is from the horizontal plane. To the point the player stays in place if you slide while looking straight. Haven't actually noticed that. There is like a field of view change when you go into slide. That may probably make it appear that way, but yeah, I can't say I've actually noticed that issue. Probably needs a closer look. Thanks for bringing it up. How often do the devs play the live build of the game? I do play it regularly during each week, probably 2 or 3 times a week. I love to just go in there and see who else is in there, and can't help but race them, even though it's not a race. Even when I play it, I'm like going, I know, I understand what's going on, but I'm still chasing these guys. It's pretty cool. But yeah, if you play the game, if you wanna see me, my name is, I think it's Hunt Seeker. So it's just like that will be me in the game if you ever want to look out. Yeah, I die a lot, so you probably will see my phantom a fair bit.
I've left like 7 phantoms already in the 20 minutes we've been talking.
Wow. Yeah. You start seeing more and more of your whips just being captured. It's like, oh, come on, give me a whip. Yeah, I don't trust me to free any of your phantoms. I'll only be asking for assistance. I'm really not that good.
Hey, big face. Oh, butts. Oh, butts. Oh, butts. Come on, Spikies. Oh, for the love of shit.
Yeah. What are all the devs' ID so we can run with them and have their whips, save their whips? Yeah. I'm happy to share mine. As I said, it's Hunt Seeker. If you see me around, you'll see me around in there, because I do play it regularly during the week, like once or twice. Maybe about 3 times a week. Yeah, just give it a run, give it a couple of runs. Yeah. I'll see if the rest of the team are happy to share theirs, but yeah, I'll when I speak to them, see if they are.
Just post it publicly with their addresses. So if, if anyone's upset, they can write them a letter to apologize. Like, hey, sorry.
The Rift, as I imagine, it strikes me as a place that may or may not occasionally feature non-Euclidean elements like, for example, Portal, but without seams or rims. As obvious as those are the portals. What are thoughts on the implementation of the kind of thing?
Oh, bullshit.
Even it's incredibly complicated. It's an interesting idea. Like, I do like the idea of that. I don't know if it'll be as cool as something like from the game Portal. But yeah, like there definitely would be new kind of like obstacles and versions of traps that could do something similar. Still working on the finer points of the Rift area. Glad people are excited for it. Why is there no common keys? Because you enter each key is for the next area. So it's just like, yeah, you don't need a key to get into any to start entering temples. There's only the following area or the following place gives you. You only have any keys for things you haven't got, and if you're in the area by default, that you don't need keys for that. What type of timeline are we looking at for the legendary keys and post-game content for those of us who have blessed all whips and collected all relics? Yes. Can't say exactly the timeline for that, but we are definitely getting a few things in there that will give me more things to collect, like for new areas and new relics, new whips. Yeah. Timeline is kind of like ongoing thing to figure out.
Oh, I've got a graphic.
Oh.
Da-na-na-na.
Yes. Doesn't specify the actual dates though.
No, but yeah. Oh well, yeah, that's fair. Dang it. Oh, hold on. I can't put it back on. Oh, I just completed an inferno. Nice job, me. Anyway, back to another temple that I have started since the finishing that inferno temple I just finished. For the love of...
When will I be able to install my mod that makes Divine Rage beatbox as he gets closer? Oh man, I'd love to put that in there for you. That does sound really cool.
Does like the music still play super intense? You can just hear him like as he gets closer.
Yeah. That would be great. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I'd love for anyone to be able to do that, but yeah, it's not exactly that friendly for that right now. Is there any way we could have a glyph dictionary in-game? Like whenever we discover a new glyph, we can discover the meaning in an in-game menu. Interesting idea. A part of the thing that we actually really enjoyed about the glyphs is that people, when they work it out, it's kind of like this whole other meta part of the game where people can actually work out what it says. But I think at some point it will be necessary to add once everyone actually once enough of it really is worked out by the people who are most excited for it. Adding some dictionary, I think, would be pretty helpful. Kind of just to see how it goes with that. Later whip when? Is that asking if latter whip when? Not really sure what that's asking.
Later, whip when?
There are whips coming. Can't say exactly when, but yeah, there are whips coming. Okay. I noticed while picking through the unopenable gate in the Relic Collect that there is a single podium not in a line with the other relic stands. Are we going to have another tutorial? That's just actually the placing of the relic stands. That's really that all that is. Just where those relic stands are placed, that's where they'll be. That's just more like the arrangement. Yeah. If it makes it look like there's actually another tutorial or special thing, probably need to have a look at how they're arranged. Is there any design or mechanic that had to be removed before launching early access? If so, can you tell us about them? Yeah, we definitely had a lot of different ideas for the whip and how that works, and we had gone through a lot of like different ways this whip would actually behave. Definitely settled on like, yeah, there were whole ideas about like, you know, like showing the arc of how far you actually can travel, like having strong indication of how far the whip can actually take you. But we felt it was kind of like overloading the screen with information that was not designed for more of a fast-paced feeling to the game. We felt like what we have now, where it's just like a change in reticle and a display on the wall or the ground, is yeah, that was pretty much what we decided on. Showing your arc was kind of like, oh, don't need to show the arc. People get that intuitively. Yeah. Another thing we actually did have was certain traps that we wanted to add, but they just weren't working out. Like we had these tilting platforms. We had to remove because they didn't really offer enough of a unique challenge to the game. We're like, this is only just like, it's tilting. That's all it's doing. It's like, wasn't really exciting. So that was an example of a trap that we dropped because it just didn't do anything for the game. Didn't offer any challenge. Didn't offer any fun experience. So just like, yeah, let's just drop it. Will Rift Whips have the same mechanic of having one curse and blank blessings, or will there be a twist? Definitely these whips, all whips will come with base buffs and debuffs, but we are thinking of adding a new mechanic that will allow for altering and changing buffs and debuffs, but that's a bit later. Will you allow Twitch Whip to drop? Will you allow Twitch Whip to drop for Phantom Abyss streamers? Not
just
sure if I can answer that question. If I'm qualified to answer that question, really.
Like, are they asking if it'll like drop for everyone who streams the game or everyone who watches anyone who streams the game?
I think it was just for that that one time when it was like for that promotion of watching that stream the first time.
Yeah, we've done it a couple times since, and I think there's been talk of doing, for special events, having it pop up again.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love the opportunity for more people to get that Twitch Whip.
Yeah, I don't think a blanket, if you stream Phantom Abyss, like free Twitch Whips kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can JM do a run with 120 frames per second? 90 is like playing Doom.
Do what?
He's saying your 90 frames is like playing Doom.
Wow. People are weird these days with their frames per seconds. Yeah,
some people are very much like able to observe that very well. I can't. I'm not really too fussed. But yeah, I can understand. It can really affect like the way people experience the game.
I'm playing on 3,000 per second, but the streaming software can only handle so much. So
Yeah. Relic Codex maybe, like a list of what you have and what you're missing. I don't know, has been asked for. That's a great one. Like I actually feel like I would love to get something like that in there, like a way to, like basically like a percentage thing. Something say like, oh, you got this much. This is how much you have remaining, or these are the ones you're missing. But that's kind of what the it's kind of partly what the pedestals are. The pedestal positions also will always display the same whip, so the same relic in that position. So that kind of like, it can kind of tell you what you are missing, but a more explicit description. Yeah, I would love to be able to add that kind of information. It'll be like that way when you get to the relic, you'll be like, you go, oh, that's the one. I already have that one. Will boss fights change based off of Guardian?
We don't even have boss fights totally 100% real yet.
Yeah. Would love to introduce something like that, but yeah, there is. We've talked about stuff like that, but nothing really well defined. Kind of like an ongoing thing to sort out how the boss fight stuff will work. But yeah, like I would love to get boss fights in the game. Just see what we can come up with. Can devs be more open with temple generation and interesting in regards for the Zoom squad? Possibly. I can't say I'm not much of an expert in that area. Like, yeah, I'll have to speak with either Josh, Dakota, or Ben, the designer, for specifics for that. But I can say it's like I didn't find it very easy to actually sort out. It's a bit invested into sorting out and arranging it. But yeah, I can't really speak to that point. Any news about the next update, or what will it be about? Well, we have the roadmap. That can actually tell you a fair bit. Next update, we are hoping to get a lot of new interesting traps in the game. I mentioned it earlier. Someone mentioned explosion, any explosion traps. There are definitely things in the works for the next update involving unique traps and explosions. Also, yeah, we're currently working on rearranging the wasn't safe yet. We're currently working on rearranging the temple progression to make it feel more populated and more exciting for anyone entering any temple at all. It's basically like the whole map in the loading screen will be redesigned and laid out in a way which will be much easier to understand as well. So yeah, there are a couple of things to look forward to in your update, in the next update.
Did somebody just give bits?
It looks. I saw a 3D triangle thing.
Somebody just accidentally gave bits. Don't do that.
Oops.
It's a waste of your bits. Oh, for the love of Satan himself!
Yeah. Those traps, they have their collision can push you sometimes.
Why am I so bad? I haven't even been landing my rolls today, and the one thing I'm good at is landing my damn rolls.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Drinking some water. Yeah, throat is feeling a bit dry.
Thanks for the bits, Bebe Piggles. That's a poor investment of bits on your part. You should be buying land.
What are your thoughts on separating fast whips, like lightning and slide, with other whips to make collecting chests more fair for newer players? This may have been answered before, but I didn't hear the answer. Yeah, I do find I spot people who are using, when I see phantoms, I can spot who's got the actual fast whip or the slide whip. It's like, oh damn it, I'm not going to beat them to any chests unless they don't know about some. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to be more careful and looking around. I think, yeah, the best thing, yeah, that is a tough one. Like that's a tough one to work out. I think the best thing that I've found is that I just look more carefully for treasure. Can't say there's an easy answer for that one.
What's the penalty if someone else gets a treasure before you?
Only if you have a whip that's like if you have a whip that says Stingy Phantoms.
Oh.
That's the only disadvantage.
Okay.
And they don't automatically magnetize to you. So you
Right.
If you whip a chest, all the treasure automatically will go to you. But if it's been open for you, you have to stand near it for the actual treasure to attach to you.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you don't lose out on any treasure.
No, you don't lose out on any treasure. You don't lose out on any treasure or any keys. It's just simply you have to work a little bit more for the money. Will you guys ever lift the 20 phantom cap on temples? Are you sure? I would love to be able to have more phantoms appear in the game. That should be coming in a later update. Optimizations to the phantoms, so everything still runs very smoothly while a lot more phantoms will show up. Yeah, it's something that we really want to improve on. Have you seen some of the Phantom Abyss related stuff in the meme Abyss channel? Yes, I have. I have been a big fan of some of them, like the whole ones where you're at the treasure chest and the hunter standing behind you right when you get it. Like I feel that. I've had that experience. Yeah, made me chuckle. Seen those memes. Yeah, they're great. What about for consistent Phantom Abyss streamers, say people with over 300 hours streamed into the game? Interesting.
Was that still for Twitch whips?
It did not have a link to it, but I'm guessing it is. Because I'm thinking, what could we give them? Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Can't say I've actually ever thought about that. Someone else on the team may have. They're just keeping it secret from me. But I would love to. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. I might as well ask again this time around, since it's hard to find an answer. Do you know anything about the partnership program on the official website? I'm curious how it works. And Clara is busy first and well. I don't think I can actually. I'm not sure what that is referring to in that question. Do you have an idea, James?
I guess people that we're paying to stream games or something, or partner. I don't know what exactly that is. Yeah, like getting codes for promotional streams and stuff like that, getting people to stream it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I don't know anything about that. That's definitely something that Clara would know a bit more about.
Yeah.
How many languages does Sewell speak? As far as I know, he only speaks English. But he hasn't told me everything about himself, so. Yeah, he has done an amazing job on the ancient language in the game. And I love getting as much of it in the actual art as possible, just to help fill in the world with more things to look at and glean information from. Yeah, it's been amazing adding all those glyphs. Have you guys been thinking about adding modifiers to the game? For example, a way to toggle on some of the cursors from whips, blindness, ice boots, water jump damages, as an example, as potential just additional challenge or Twitch integration. We have actually been discussing things like that. Ben, the designer Ben, he's been definitely wanting stuff like that in the game. Yeah, definitely looking at adding those things in the actual game, like certain modifiers to whips or buffs and debuffs. Any thoughts, plans about putting on in some kind of escape sequence, perhaps as a final challenge after collecting a relic? Definitely yes. We have really wanted to add some kind of escape sequence to the game.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yes. That is one part of the game we're like, oh man, really want to add something that's like, yeah, something that can happen once you grab a relic. See how we go. Stay tuned, I guess. Be surprises there, I hope. Yeah, definitely want to get something like that in there. Yeah, that was the last question in the Ask Q&A.
That's it?
That wasn't in the Ask Q&A. Should I go to Q&A chat, or is that?
Yeah, if you want to, say hi to Q&A chat and answer there. Oh God, why did I not even look into the fucking room? Sorry, I'm trying not to swear as much on these. Thank you, Eunuch. Yeah, I used to be good at the rolls, and suddenly I'm not. And so I had to practice my rolls for a while. Sorry that wasn't entertaining.
I just saw someone in the chat was asking, like, they misheard me. Punt seeker, and Josh corrected and going hunt seeker.
I mean, that could have been worse.
Yeah. Didn't
Nuts.
realize what I was getting into when I made that name.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, I really didn't know what I was getting into. Someone else said, like, thought it started with a C.
Yeah. Which you can't really talk about because crunch is not okay in the video game industry anymore, and we're really working against crunch. So as a crunch seeker, that's just not okay.
Yeah, stay out of bounds.
Out of bounds. So, Motze, you're responsible for like a lot of like the design of like the assets, the etchings and stuff on the walls and stuff like that. You know, I mean, just like the whole aesthetic of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, I just come up with like a lot of like the patterns, a lot of the decorations for the environment, and also ideas of just how the traps will look.
Yeah.
That's mostly like I do a fair because I'm lead designer. I need to keep a bigger picture over everything. Some of the really cool assets of the game are due to our other artists. Does an excellent job in making things look really pretty.
Nice. So I mean, were you always? I assume you weren't always into this aesthetic, just generally. But I mean, what kind of things did you study getting into? You know, getting this game going.
Mostly just like, you mean like for looking at concepts and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly just looking at a whole range of South American civilization, South American civilizations, like the Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, deliberately didn't want to go anything specific. Wanted to make it look like it's from that kind of region, but it's like a more ancient civilization, something that like has been completely lost to time.
Yeah.
But may have like, you know, branches into other civilizations. But yeah, definitely borrowed a fair bit from those kinds of South American cultures. Nothing specific. It's all pretty much like, look at the way they made their some of their decorations and kind of like go like look at that and try to flesh out that particular aspect of it. Like, there's a lot of kind of like snaking path kind of like block shapes, like Tetris kind of construction things.
Yeah.
There another part that informed that visual design was like trying to make it feel like, okay, this temple is about like rooms being pieced together. So I try to do that with all the patterns as well. Like if you look at the wall, it's just like shapes next to each other. There's like L shapes and U shapes and some Z shapes, but the whole point was to like make it look like it's a jigsaw. Like the environment is also a jigsaw.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, that was like that was a big inspiration. Like when I was actually building it, was like, okay, I want all these patterns to kind of resemble, in a really abstract way, they are rooms next to each other that like seem to be randomly stacked or slotted in next to each other.
Cool.
So yeah, that was largely how those patterns were designed.
That's
And almost like snaking pathways as well, like pathways that lead to dead ends and also lead out to places. There's a bit of a mix between rooms, blocks looking like they're slot next to each other, and like if you look at the symbols up at the top there, where the ID is being displayed, the temple ID is being displayed, it's kind of like paths that kind of loop into dead ends or lead out.
okay. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Like the walls are kind of a metaphor for the whole game.
Yeah. There is a lot of like that's mainly where the idea for those symbols came from. Just like a blending of South American cultures as well as selling the idea that this temple is constantly changing and being rearranged.
I like that. Like kind of, I don't know. It's not actually like recursion, but like that's the word that pops into my head where it's like you've got like the big thing, and then within the big thing you have a little version of the big thing. And then it's kind of nesting maybe. Yeah.
Fair bit of that going on. And also with some of the other symbols, I don't know if anyone's picked up on these particularly, but some of the patterns, they're not symbols, but they do have an aspect of like of what's the word? What they are associated with. Like for example, you'll see some traps have a certain kind of pattern to them that means it's a trap. And most other decorations will be more like will have certain other patterns that say they're just like a wall or a piece of decoration.
Oh no! Oh no, I've lost Motze. Hold on, everybody. Oh, you're back.
Yep.
All right, sorry. I don't know, I lost you for a second there.
Okay. What was the last thing you caught there?
I don't know. You were saying that traps will have a certain pattern, or there'll be a certain pattern in your traps, and then others that are like, I'm a wall.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically it. Summary. It was a good summary.
Thanks. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it looks like there's some other questions have been added. Okay, what causes the reverb when JM puts stuff on his desk? Question for you, JM.
The microphone is on a stand mounted to my desk, and so
Some
the
of the
whole thing
vibration
vibrates.
through that.
Yeah, the whole thing vibrates.
In the hub world, you can explore around way off to the sides and even on top of the main temple. Is there any plans of hints or stuff to be aware of? Yes. There are things. I really want to get a bit of exploration going on in the hub. Places you can find, like little secrets to be revealed. Maybe extra details in the lore or cool things that you could possibly a special item that could be in there somewhere. But yeah, definitely want to add stuff like that into the hub where you can actually explore it and push the limits of some people have gone into crazy spots in the hub and it's like, I don't know how you did that. And it's just like, maybe we should add something out there to be like, if you got here, congratulations.
Free Twitch whip.
Yeah. Hidden somewhere in the hub. But I would love to do more with the hub in that way, make it more of a place you can explore. Have you given any thought to making fake walls that can be whipped or button-activated treasure rooms? Yes, I've given some thought to that. We'll see how we go adding those kinds of things. But yeah, I would love to get some of that stuff in. Anything just to give a little more new interesting things to look for in the temple environments, new ways to explore it. Yeah, I would love to add stuff like that. Will one of the 4 relics be a cookie? This is very important, says Blitzer. Can't say we ever thought about making the cookie relic, but now I have. Yeah, that's a great one. Have you any thoughts of making a... Oh yeah, that's one, it's already said. To learn more about our dev overlords, what's your favorite hobbies when you're not working on games? My favorite hobbies: playing video games, reading books, watching movies, stuff like that. It's pretty good.
What games do you play for fun?
Oh man, the kind of games I play for fun. I'm a big fan of Dark Souls.
Yeah?
I think Ben has mentioned this. One of us is a Dark Souls fan.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I really got into the first Dark Souls. I revisit it every few months, and also Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is one of my favorites of all time. I love that game. But otherwise, it's pretty eclectic. My interests, a lot of sprites, indie games. Sprite-based indie games I really am into. I'm quite into roguelikes, particular roguelikes.
Particular roguelikes?
Yeah. There's this one that I'm not, I always mention to people that I'm a huge fan of, but I'm not sure if everyone else, if it doesn't seem to be well known. It's called Sword of Fargo. I'm a big fan of that one.
Vargo or Fargo?
Goal.
Far goal.
Far away goal. It's like the Sword of Fargo. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. It's a great game. That's a roguelike. Could we get info on which of the devs is set to appear on each Q&A? Oh, actually, that's a really good question. Maybe we should definitely do more lead-in for that. I'll speak with the team to organize whoever's coming up sooner, and let you know way ahead of time so you can have questions prepared. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. Alfakin? Don't know how to pronounce it.
Just go with Alf.
Alf. Oh, looks like Josh has already posted something about it.
About a schedule of people? That was good of him to tell us.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. After this, we'll organize who will be next sooner. So yeah, you can come and so you can be prepared with questions for them. When the players die in the sense of lore, what happens? Do we die or spawn again in the same temple? So it's not completely fleshed out yet, but it is more like an essence of you gets trapped in that temple, but you are still able to escape. Like it's like you are being drained, or like partly being sacrificed. Yeah, there's more to come with that, but that's all I'll say so far.
There's been a lot of talk about a Ghostbusters tie-in.
Oh man, if they're willing. I love the idea of probably getting a whip that's like a like the ghost beam.
Yeah, the
Really
proton pack. It'll just get rid of it'll just destroy a phantom.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds like a really great whip. Can one of the relics be bread?
What?
Everyone just wants food.
Are you guys just hungry? Do you just need to...
need some relics with some starch in them.
Where is the guy? Oh, there he is.
There's a motif across the whole temple of a dragon and a snake. There are some relics that depict them too. What are their significance? Or in lieu of direct answer, will we find out in the future, or are tablets similar? I can answer that and say you will find out in the future. It is yeah. Stuff that's actually that will be explained in later updates with lore, I think, is the best way to answer that one. So I'm glad you've noticed, actually. The devs collected all the relics. I have not collected them all legitimately. While testing the game, I'm like, okay, let's grab these, let's get these relics and see how that goes. But yeah, like I'm still trying to get all the relics. I see some players like, well, you guys are elite. It's like I'm just not in that area.
I never knew a door closed so you couldn't accidentally go the same way twice. That's helpful.
Yeah.
I suddenly got worried I was going the wrong way.
Yeah, if you ever that is something I noticed as well. Everyone knows where they're going, so they never accidentally go back down the same path they've been before on the relic floors, so that they never see the closed door behind them.
I just had some serious because the entryway into that path looked just like the other one, and so I was having some serious doubts as to whether or not I was on the right path.
Until you see like, oh, it's closed. Well,
Yeah.
obviously got that one.
Nailed it.
Yeah. What were the temple builders? Oh wait. What were the temple builders' connection to the stellar bodies? There are several glyphs for the moon and sun scattered around the temples.
Y'all gotta read your glyphs.
Yeah. Like it's all revealed in the lore. I don't want to give anything away when it comes to that stuff. Like a part of the exciting thing is like working out like who is the god of the abyss really? Who is it's JM. What does the snake and dragon statues mean?
Trogdar. Sorry, we weren't supposed to spoil it. You just said you didn't want to spoil it. I'm so sorry, Motze. Please apologize to the whole team. I did not mean. I can't believe I just blurted that out.
Oh, the bag's out now. Let's chill out.
Sorry, game's canceled, y'all.
Yeah. Now that you can't discover it for yourself, we're canceling the game.
There's really no point. Oh, not what I wanted, but whatever.
Custom temple builder for community. That's not. Yeah, I would love something like that. It's not exactly doable as the temples are currently as the way they are currently constructed. But yeah, man, if that was possible, I'd be down for that. Can we get whipped curses back? I'll bother you until you add them. Yes, we can, and we are. That is something that I mentioned earlier. Designer wants to add some kind of extra new ways to modify whips. That's definitely involved there. When you enter the ruined relic room through the fire doors, there are 2 pathway textures before the big pit. What are their plans? When you enter the ruins relic room through the fire doors. Oh yes, there are pathway textures before big pit. What are their plans? I can't. I'm still working out what this actually is referring to. Do you have an idea, JM?
No.
When you enter the ruins relic room through the fire doors, through the braziers, there are 2 pathway textures before the big pit. Oh, okay, yes, I see. So I think they're referring to the patterns on the braziers. Is that correct? Or on the doors? Let me know, Soldier Soul, if that's what you're referring to. I can't really be sure. How many relics do I need to buy the temple?
In this economy?
yeah, in this economy. Are the snake and dragon the 4th and 5th guardian? To be revealed. I don't want to spoil anything about that stuff. When the law becomes clear in the law, you'll understand. Will you let Murdoch make bread-related something else? Someone knows our contract artist, our other artist, Alex Murdoch. He's a gun at this stuff. He'll probably make one anyway, and then we'll have to fit it into the game somewhere. Sorry, I didn't read the in brackets part. Yeah, he agreed to it. Of course he did. Yeah. Aside from the endless possible start trackers, can access collected coins be utilized in some way in the future, either for cosmetics or hub upgrades? Currently, they just poof. They progressively made the hub look like it was covered in coins, people treasury style, if you know what I mean. Yep. There is definitely something that we are working on right now. Some way for additional relics to be a little more unique, I guess, like to offer something different to the game. Yeah, these are all cool ideas. Definitely, I'll keep them in mind when talking to the team about what we're going to do with that. The Abyss seems to be a different dimension. How do us players cross over from Earth? Again, more lore to be revealed. It is a bit of a mystery, but we have discussed it. Yeah, we'll try to get those. Those will definitely be hinted at and described a little bit in the lore. But yeah, to come. Like that will be revealed in a way later.
I'm firing my laser. All right.
Looks like
I shouldn't have made fun. I've never been gotten that much by that guy.
He was particularly angry that
I
time.
think it was extra mad at me.
Mm. You were on the second floor. Was your whip? What was your whip?
Just the
base
normal
one?
whip. I always use the base
Okay.
whip. I don't want to lose the other whips. Because
Josh-
then...
Josh is saying I've done my hour. Back to work.
Oh no! All right. Wow, is it an hour already? Gosh, I've only died 30 times.
I'll just
Alright,
answer a
then.
couple more questions. When will we get a trap that ruins your frames per second for a period? Ooh.
What?
I now want that.
What?
When will we get a trap that ruins your frames per second for a period of time? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Like a
When are
Quaaludes
you
trap?
adding a mouse trap? Ooh. Oh, like a treasure chest that is like a mimic. Like a fake treasure chest. That'd be pretty cool.
Brutal.
Yeah, I like it. That's really cool. Working on it. What are your thoughts on invisible platforms or terrain? It could become more invisible as you get closer. Ooh. I like that idea. Yeah, they're really cool ideas. Yeah, I think that they'll probably do it then. You think, JM?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm gonna pause
Yeah.
here.
Well, Josh is pretty much saying like, yeah, get out of here. Get out of
You're done. You're done.
here.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this, Motze.
Hope it was enlightening to the viewers.
Yeah, I think so. Shout it out, chat. Give them props. If you're watching on Steam in the future, then this is going to be the break, and then it's going to come back with the next episode or go back to the first episode. Who knows?
Great. Yeah, so we'll let people know who's coming up next, so they know ahead of time, have questions prepared.
Yeah, go to the Discord. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, someone just before we finish up, someone just left a question in glyphs.
Oh.
Abyss Phantom is treasure. I'm trying to remember the symbols without Okay, someone is happy about getting treasure in the Phantom Abyss.
I thought they were trying to say the Phantom Abyss is treasure.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they are. Phantom Abyss is treasure. Yes.
Aww.
Thank you.
Aww.
Really appreciate it. I'm happy you guys like it.
Aw, that's so wholesome. All
Well,
right.
thanks so much.
Yeah,
Thanks so
thanks.
much, guys, for asking questions. I hope I did enough to help out any way I can, really.
I think you were great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the logo, say bye to Motze, and then I'll be back to be really bad at Phantom Abyss some more. Why am I so bad today? It makes me sad. All right. Be right back,
Alright,
y'all.
guys. See you guys. Bye.